this. Fresh off the Palm Beach County, that's where I'm from. Where niggas get gunned down and left slung from. Thumbs up for fucking round. This ain't accounting for you bitches to come around.
What up? What up? And welcome to another episode of the unofficial podcast of the National Football League, the world famous and critically acclaimed 5-6 Kings podcast. I'm David Breen, but with me as always, my dear friend and co-host Braden Bullard. Braden, how are you, man?
David, I am doing pretty good. It's hard to walk. It was a leg day. A lot of huffing and puffing. But other than that, doing pretty...
last time you felt the need to tell us about your back issue when we started.
Yeah.
Your body's just falling apart, man.
It's falling apart. Working out.
And then when you ask me how I'm doing, I'm like, I'm fine. You're like, oh, you not okay? Is this something you want to talk about? Like you're just falling apart over here. Is there something you want to talk about?
Yeah. No, actually, no. I don't want to touch on it. Very vulnerable. Got trust issues. Don't know if I want to give all that detail out. You know, it's just...
That's fair.
Yeah,
it's understandable.
It's a lot. But yeah, how are you doing, David?
I'm fine.
Just fine?
Yeah, just fine.
Sweet.
Just fine, man. Yeah.
Nice. So, John Q.
John Q.
Whoa.
John Quincy Archibald.
That's what his name was.
Yeah.
What a name.
Yeah.
Damn.
I love this movie.
Yeah.
I hadn't seen it in years. Not super fun to take notes on it.
Yeah. But
Because it's an emotional movie.
seems like an underrated movie.
Yeah.
You know, not really ever talked about too much. But I thought it was well done.
Yeah, very well done.
Yeah.
Denzel was great.
Yeah.
I don't want to get too much into the other characters because there's some surprises
Oh, yeah.
that you did not see coming.
Yeah, it's got
as far
a pretty...
as who characters are.
and pretty good cast.
Star-studded.
Yeah.
Star-studded cast.
Yeah. I mean, you wanna get into some of the nitty-gritty shit about this movie?
We talking money?
Oh, David.
Always talking money.
I fucking love
2002 Denzel wasn't like Denzel of today.
money. Oh, definitely not. But
and
he's still Denzel.
And it's tough to know, like, some how much do you fucking pay some of those people? Let's say it was like a $30 million budget.
Oh, that's a good guess. A little bit higher.
A little bit higher? 35?
36.
$36 million budget.
It's crazy, right?
Yeah, it makes sense with the cast that they had.
Yes, but there's not that much crazy shit that would cost up a budget. You know what I'm saying? That happened in this movie. It was really only a couple locations, but yes, the cast was star-studded.
I think between three people
Alone, yeah.
There was at least $20 million of the budget between three of the actors.
Yeah. How much do you think it would cost today to do the same movie? Just because of inflation.
All the same actors?
Yeah.
A lot? I don't.
Right, bro?
Well, I mean, it would be impossible today.
Yeah.
Because Ray Liotta's fucking dead.
Oh, god damn it.
Damn, man.
Wow. I almost forgot about that.
Yeah, Ray Liotta. All right, but I didn't.
Man, that shit happens quick.
I didn't. It would be a lot today.
Yeah.
Denzel.
I would say at least double.
Yeah, 'cause Denzel's making a lot more than whatever he made on this.
Oh, yeah.
Robert Duvall is fucking 90-something years old.
Yeah.
Like, does he want to act? How much do you have to pay Robert Duvall to come to a fucking movie?
I'm sure he's down.
He's probably like, I don't want to fucking do that. I don't want to go make a movie. I've made so many movies.
Yeah. Yeah, you might as well quit while you're on top, you know?
Yeah. I mean, he didn't do that, but...
Because you don't want to...
quit while you're old and you don't want to do it anymore.
And a lot of times,
You don't go make a movie for the second time.
Yeah, and a lot of actors, they want to be able to control their career. And
If Robert Duvall's going to make a movie for the second time, do you know what it needs to be? There's a correct answer. What's your guess?
Man, I don't know.
It's Kicking and Screaming.
With
Will Ferrell and Mike Ditka.
I can't beat it.
That is what Robert Duvall, if he makes any movie a second time, it's Kicking and Screaming.
That movie, great.
Yeah.
so much soccer.
It's great.
Oh,
So much better than The Godfather.
yeah, and the neighborhood alone, man.
It's beautiful.
It is
Beautiful, and
yeah,
they make you feel like you're there.
Yeah.
You know?
yeah, like you're in that fence.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Dude, it's,
Wow.
Can't beat it.
gotta watch
Can't
that
beat
again.
it. Did they make...
Did they make a profit?
$70 million?
Oh, David, a little bit more.
There we go. $76 million?
Well, not more.
So not that little
Yeah.
bit? Okay. $85 million?
Talking 100.
$100 million?
100 million.
Good for them. They
I'm
happy with
talking
that shit, bro?
102.
They happy with that shit?
I think so.
They happy with making $66 million?
I hope. And I think they did because they produced a lot more Denzel movies after this.
They meaning Hollywood or they meaning
Just
the
Hollywood.
studio?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Just like he's got a track record of success.
He's the guy.
Yeah.
I think Training Day came out right after this.
Yeah.
Which it's tough to...
Let's see.
He played like a Shakespearean character.
Oh, no, this is right before. This came out in 2001, Training Day.
Yeah, so he went from Training Day to this.
Yeah, so that means he
That's-
got paid a pretty penny.
But that's wild how different these two characters are.
Yeah.
He went from Training Day to fucking this.
I'm sure he was having trouble because like when you do a character like how he did in
Oh,
Training
my
Day,
God.
shit stays with you, bro.
We
I'm sure like all the
we covered Training Day well over a year ago.
And look,
I still quote it every episode.
every
I
episode.
still find a way to be Alonzo Harris at some point.
Yeah.
He was Alonzo Harris.
He was. He I'm sure the director was like, Cut.
Like, Denzel, come on.
What the fuck? And he's like, What, motherfucker?
Yeah, that.
Yeah.
That.
He's like, What?
You're a sad dad with no money.
Oh,
Be
shit.
that.
Fuck.
Denzel.
You're right.
What are the reviews saying online?
Oh, David. Reviews. Let's get into the nitty gritty. IMDb gave it a 7.1 out of 10. Rotten Tomatoes gave it a 25%. Voodoo 4.6 out of 5. And Google users 90%. That is all over the place.
Dude,
that is
The
wild.
Rotten Tomatoes legitimately baffles me.
Yeah. I mean, because
I don't know how you could watch this and be like, it's an awful movie.
yeah, I'm sure Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey wasn't too far off.
Yeah.
Like it probably got a 17% compared to that 25. Like
Yeah.
that's fucking crazy.
Wild. Fucking wild.
It's-
What do you give this movie?
You know, I did think about this for a little bit, and I felt like I wanted to give it almost the exact same score as American History.
Interstellar?
No. As American History X. But I want to go one below. I'm going to give it a 7.8.
7.8?
And because it's a good movie, I just don't know how many times I would rewatch it.
I mean, I have rewatched it dozens of times.
Fuck.
What did I give American History X?
You gave it like an 8 point,
Did I give an 8.5?
I think like 3.
8.3?
I think.
So I'm gonna give
I
this.
think.
I'm gonna give this an 8.5.
Nice.
It's very good.
Yeah, it is. The acting is, I think,
Acting is top notch.
top notch.
The fucking script, just the idea of this movie is great.
It is. And up until the point of what happened, I didn't know where they were going to take this movie. I'm not going to spoil anything, but
Yeah.
you know, I liked the way they took it, and you know, it kind of reminded me of Phone Booth.
Snow Dogs, Phone Booth. Yeah, me too. Me too.
Just like a little bit with some of the things. But no,
I can see that. Yeah.
Acting great, script was great, editing pretty good. And a good cast. So and I think a really good thing is enough characters to keep things.
Oh, absolutely.
Because you don't have enough scenes or different settings. So the fact that you have more characters helps kind of switch it up while you're still in the same setting. And I think that was a smart idea that they did, because if it was less,
Yeah, it could have, like, every scene isn't focused on Denzel.
and it never feels like it's like the momentum or anything is dying.
Yeah.
You know, like the movie stays on good pace. It is a little bit under 2 hours, like an hour and 50-minute movie. But it doesn't feel like drawn out.
No,
Even
not
though
at all.
even though there's not like crazy twists or turns or so, like things that are drawn, are turning points in the script that makes you think there's going to be like this whole other act that's going to go down this whole different path or something, like, where there's perception of time is how do I say it? It goes by like scene by scene in a really fluid way. Kind of save me here, Dave, before I jump off a bridge.
I don't know what you're trying to say. I was fully on board with everything you were saying, and then you lost me with the jumbled mess of words you just did there.
Yeah, me too.
I wish I could save you. It'd be
then,
great if I could save you, but I don't know what you were trying to do at all.
Well, it's basically
time is of the essence.
Time is of the essence.
Tick, tick, tick. That's the sound of your life running out.
Wow.
Nah,
That
it's
was dark.
Dexter.
Dexter.
I'm always quoting Dexter on here.
You got to have a Dexter moment.
Jordan Chase. What a great fucking character. Go watch Dexter start to finish. Because every fucking season, there's a new character where you're like, this guy's the best.
And at this point, it's like, what am I doing if I'm not watching
Dexter?
Yeah, it's like I'm
Fuck
kind
you
of just
doing?
like wasting my life, I guess. Yeah, I don't know.
That's the sound of your life running out, man.
That is the
Tick,
sound
tick,
of my
tick.
Yeah, wow.
They won awards?
David, they did win awards. They got 2 wins, 8 nominations.
There we go.
Yeah, so
A lot of black awards.
oh
it's saying
man,
on there, man.
BET fucking for who? Denzel. But they were just nominated. So I mean, we'll get to the wins though.
There was one
BMI, body mass index. Who doesn't want to know?
for-
You
What about
know.
the black reel?
Oh
He
yeah,
was nominated for best actor.
yeah. Theatrical. Denzel Washington.
There we go.
Then we got the BMI Film Music Award. Aaron Zigman. And then they also won the Image Award for Outstanding Actor in a Motion Picture at the Image Awards, NAACP.
NAACP.
Yeah, that's a better way to say it. Yeah.
It's the way you say it.
But let's get political, David, because they were nominated for the PFS Award,
You
Democracy.
know what NAACP stand for?
The National Academy of Arts of nope.
National Association for the Advancement of Colored People.
Fuck.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Of course you didn't know that.
Didn't get that in American History X.
Because you washed yourself in N-word's blood. And all the mongrels, too.
Jew by Jew by Jew.
The white man marches on.
But they were nominated for the PFS Award, Expose, and PFS Award for Human Rights. Wow.
There we go.
Look at that. Yeah, this movie was heavily based on like health insurance and
Yeah.
hospital kind of politics, and it's definitely an eye opener. I really wonder how this kind of translated during that time, in 2002. Like I wonder how what was going on with health insurance at the time, and I wonder if this movie was like a big impact,
I mean, healthcare is still fucking ridiculous.
That's what I'm saying. So I'm sure it didn't do that big of an impact, but I wonder if there was like an uproar from this movie at all, or if it caused anything else to happen.
I'm sure. I don't know if it caused anything to happen. I'm sure there was an uproar at the time, but it's kind of,
Yeah.
shit dies off.
Yeah. It happens.
It's a flash in the pan. Something else terrible happened, and then they were like, oh, well, we invaded Iraq or Afghanistan. Everyone's like, well, let's pay attention to that now.
Yeah.
Forget this healthcare stuff.
Yeah.
Fuck John Q.
We saw President Bush on the TV screen.
We did.
Yeah. I mean, he'll
Pushing it up.
It's basically just him versus Denzel at that time. Denzel's trying to sway you one way, President Bush.
Swaying you the other.
And look at that. Look where we went. Iraq.
Ugh.
Ugh.
Fucking sandy over there, man.
God, man.
You know?
Just for the oil.
Gotta deal with all that sand.
Ugh. There's a snake in my boat.
Snakes love sand, guys.
You didn't know?
All right, guys. Well, we're going to take a quick break, but when we come back, we're diving into this movie. So stick around. And we're back.
Hello.
Fuck you, Derek Jeter.
Ah,
F you,
fudge.
DJ.
Fudge.
So the movie opens. It's an AOL Time Warner movie. And I got a bone to pick with AOL Time Warner. They killed WCW. I'll never forgive them. That merger, they got Ted Turner the fuck out of there. He was no longer running his own company. You know, Ted Turner wasn't running. He was the one behind the wrestling. He wanted the wrestling business to be on TBS.
Wrestling.
Fucking-
Fucking greedy motherfucker.
Fucking killed. That's Ted Turner told Vince McMahon when he bought WCW. He said, well, Vince, I'm in the wrestling business now. And you know what Vince said? Like a condescending piece of shit?
I bet it was great.
Well, Ted, you and I are not in the same business. Because I'm in the entertainment business.
Boom.
Fucking. He raped an intern right after that. Guaranteed. So there's a beautiful car ride. It is. The scenery is magnificent.
Yep.
And we see a woman that we come to know as Beautiful Woman. That is what her name in the credits was.
Yeah.
It was Beautiful Woman.
Mm-hmm.
And I know that because it says credits is like cast in order of appearance. And it's a Beautiful Woman. And gave her a name.
Nice.
Good for her.
Yeah.
Good for her being recognized in a movie as Beautiful Woman.
Yeah. And it's like, yeah, it's a bit lazy on their end, but fuck it, dude. What a compliment.
Get me in a movie and just great guy.
Yeah.
I don't have a fucking line in the movie and they're just like, great dude.
So, Stacy, what's the big role you got coming up?
I'm gonna be Beautiful Woman. They're like, oh, doing like a Pretty Woman reboot? No.
Nah.
Not at all.
Yeah.
Not at all.
I'm the most beautiful
Yeah.
woman they ever saw, so they casted me as Beautiful Woman.
Yeah. Naturally.
I just walked in. I didn't do any lines.
They're
They were
like,
just like,
They're like, Beautiful Woman, we got a role for you.
yeah. So that's how, yeah.
She's driving Ave Maria is playing. I don't know if it's playing in her car. She has a rosary, so
Yeah, I didn't.
so it could be. but
probably.
She's a psycho because we find out later she's 26 years old.
Yeah.
She's running around listening to this, got a rosary, and she's driving like a fucking maniac.
Yeah.
Just fucking weaving in and out of lanes. It's where it's like it's the solid line, not the it's a 2-lane, one-way each way highway.
It's kind of like when Vin Diesel is trying to chase someone down for his family.
Yeah.
It's kind of like that.
driving like that, driving like a fucking maniac.
Maniac.
And she's trying to pass a Mack truck, and I swear to God, she gets clipped by a Peterbilt.
Oh, no. Like, no lie.
Oh, it's a Peterbilt.
For sure.
Yeah, no, I made sure. I made fucking sure of it. It's a Peterbilt.
That's how cool.
Yeah, Peterbilt clips her, and then the Mack truck just fucking tanks her.
Yeah.
The old 2-for-1.
And you know what?
The old Peterbilt Mack 2-for-1. You know.
The moment it was all done, I was like, she's okay. She's fine.
I didn't think that.
No?
I thought, oh, she got clipped by a Peterbilt and then fucking leveled by a Mack.
No, I know. I'm fucking full of shit. She took that head on. Like, literally a deer in the headlights.
Boom.
Yeah.
On her. It was like on her side. She
Yeah.
got clipped and spun, so the driver's side is getting hit by the fucking Mack.
That was a perfect time hiccup.
Yeah, I hope those aren't here to stay, because this will be interesting. I had to do a lot of talking.
There's a thing where you, like, I fucking listened to Huberman say it. This guy that's, like, super smart.
Fuck Hooverman.
You just,
right?
like, you
Fuck
basically
Hooverman.
hold your breath for, like, 30 seconds, and then you take in, like, another breath or so. Or you exhale all the breath, and you hold for 30 seconds. I don't know, something like that.
Well, I'm not going to do that.
Yeah, don't do it now.
All right?
Yeah.
Braden.
Okay. David.
You also have David Straley, who told you that he...
Yeah, it's a reverse
He's-
psychology
yeah.
tactic. Yeah, look at that. It's worked.
He's like, you can't hiccup.
But you know what I think it
You
is?
could never hiccup.
Because now that
You will never be in this house.
But exactly. But the thing is it might be a little bit of both, because I was in shock. Anytime David speaks, I'm just jaw dropped, holding my breath.
It's understandable.
So maybe it's
You're in awe of just his beauty, and then you're like, oh, now he's going to talk?
and then before I know it, it's
What?
over 30 seconds and my
Yeah.
hiccups are gone.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's understandable.
kind of makes sense.
That's understandable. See Denzel Washington. He's watching George W. Bush.
Because who wouldn't?
And he's talking about debt and
Oh yeah,
credit cards
fucking
and shit.
9/11.
Yeah, I don't think he does.
I don't think he did either, but it was right around that time.
Denzel. Then we don't we don't know what he hears. He gets up and he fucking sprints outside, and then we see a tow truck's towing his car, and he's like, "Hey, that's my car!"
Yeah, that must suck.
And they're like, "Yo, pay your fucking bills, man. I don't know what to tell you."
yeah.
And they're like, "Nah, you can't tow the car." And they're like, "We have to tow the car.
Yeah.
That is the only reason we're here."
Yeah.
So they tow it. His wife and son then come to the door. Son's wearing fucking sick ass pajamas.
So sick.
Like, I'm not even joking. They were fucking sick.
Yeah.
And then they're eating. Denzel and his wife. He's sitting at the table. She's refilling his coffee. She's dressed. I thought she was a waitress, but she works at a grocery store. We find out. But she's pouring his coffee, and you could tell just it's rough. They are not. She is not happy with him. He's got the paper, and he's like, "I'm looking for a second job." You know, they cut me down to 20 hours a week at the plant. Yeah, they said once we business picks back up, they'll get me back up to 40. But I'm looking, honey. Like, I'm trying. And she just keeps saying, "Fuck." Oh, he's like, they're shipping all the jobs to Mexico. Which, you know what? He calls it the plant. So I don't know what it is.
It's for sure.
But no. This shit never would have happened if it was the mill.
That's what I'm saying.
This shit never would have happened if he was working at the mill.
Yeah. Gotta have a mill.
You think the sawmills shipping the jobs to Mexico? Hell no.
No.
They
keep
give
it.
all the jobs in the town, or they close down because there's a casino.
Yeah.
All right?
It all stays in town.
No one's going to Mexico.
Fuck no.
Fucking nobody.
It's crazy.
So he's like, I had to choose. It was either paying our rent or paying the car bill. And do you want me to not pay the rent?
Yeah.
So do you want us to not live here? And she goes, "My car is gone, John." And he's like, "I know what fucking think I'm doing." Like, you could tell it's just they've had a rough life for a while. Just money's been tight.
Yeah, but what I think is funny is they kind of build a dynamic that, you know, he wanted to pay the car rather than this or pay off the home rather than the car, but he also has a car too.
Yeah.
And that is paid off.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I just think it's kind of funny in a way where it's like, yeah, well, you don't need your car.
Yeah, I mean, for sure.
Yeah.
Our second car, or and he has like an old truck.
Yeah.
That he's probably had for
That's probably
years.
always been.
It's
paid
like
off.
it's like it's like a rundown. He probably bought it for $400, and he works on it himself. Shit like that.
Yeah.
And he's like, I didn't pay the fucking car.
This movie does a really good job at building the reality of most people's circumstances.
Yeah, like fucking, you can fucking feel it watching this. You're like, oh man, that is some tight finances.
Yeah, and statistically, like that is like the average.
Well, you kept saying, well, I mean, it's just a typical, like, for a black family where, you know, it's just they don't have money, you know? I'm surprised Dad stuck around, honestly. If this movie was more realistic, what Brayden kept saying to me, he's like, if this movie was more realistic, it would just be Mom and Mikey.
Well, I was like, David, it's such an interesting choice that you would pick this movie right after American History X.
Yeah, Brayden kept saying that.
What are you trying to say?
I was like, it's a good movie. I like this movie. Mikey then walks. Mikey's the star of the fucking show.
Oh, he really is.
He walks in and he goes, "Ronnie Coleman, Mr. Olympia, 2 years running. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, buddy.
And he's just flexing, and they're fucking like, they both smile, and they're like, eat your breakfast. He's like, I got a donut. They're like, donut's not breakfast. Eat your breakfast.
So this does confirm that the year is 2001 because Ronnie Coleman won his second championship in 2001.
There we go.
There we go.
There we go. Braden's like, no fucking way this movie happened in 01.
You know what? I'm actually going to look up.
This movie's 02.
Don't wait for me, but I'm going to look up to see what month he won it because I really want to see if this is
So
before or after.
this movie came out in 02.
No, yeah. But, no, yeah.
So if he won a second in 01, it's definitely going to be after.
Yeah.
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 So there's that.
I guess.
What are you looking up, man?
Nothing.
The fuck you looking up? Ronnie Coleman. Like, you can't believe those jerks took the car. And he's like, what are we going to do about it, Dad? You know what I would do? I'd get so big and angry that I'd whoop their butts. And they're like, hey, come on.
This isn't WWE. He's like, it's not. We're not talking WWE. It's bodybuilding.
Bodybuilders, Dad. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's just fucking great.
Yeah, this kid's awesome.
Yeah, they tell him go get ready for school, and then wife looks at John, and she says, "Can I have a ride to work?" And he smiles, says, yeah. And then he goes over and he hugs her from behind. And you can just tell how much this family loves each other.
Yeah.
That is abundantly clear throughout this movie. Then they have a fun car ride. They're singing. And then they're mumbling words to each other. So Mikey's going, ration. And they're trying to guess what they're saying. Like you're saying,
Restroom.
radio station.
Ah, shit.
Radio station. And then Denzel goes, all right. Hun. He's like, huh? Hun. And Mikey goes, $100? He goes, no, we were talking about it this morning. They talk. Mikey called the donut a continental breakfast. He's like, we're not on a continent. He's like, what do you call North America, Dad? But and he's saying continent like that. And then they're trying to get the mom to do it. She doesn't want to do it. And they're like, come on, do it. And then she goes, dashboard. That's just like that. Like it's clear she says dashboard.
Yeah.
And they both go, huh? And then she does it again, and they both start laughing. And they're a fun family.
Yeah, just good people, you know? Chips
then
off the old block.
They thumb wrestle. She wins.
And yeah, just good family.
They drop Mikey off, and John is walking him in. Denzel is either going to be John or Denzel throughout the whole movie. That's just fucking deal with that, guys. It's John Q. So he's walking him into school, and Mikey's like, hey, Dad, I saved up $46 worth of my allowance, and you could have it if you want. You know, we're family, and we should take care of each other, right? And he goes, that's right, but you earned that money, Mikey. I want you to keep it. He goes, okay. And then, like, they give a hug, and, God damn it, I wrote, Denzel takes it. He takes the money and spends it all at the track, because there's nothing better than turning a little bit of money into more money. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, I know.
But then he loses the money at the track.
Yeah.
That's tough.
Yeah.
John says goodbye to Mikey, and he goes, not goodbye. I hate goodbye. It's see you later.
See you later.
And he goes, all right, see you later. And then John says, hey. And he flexes at Mikey, and Mikey goes, Flex Wheeler, 275 pounds, 2% body fat. Oh, yeah. And they're both flexing back at each other. It's fucking adorable.
Yeah.
I forgot how much I loved this movie.
Oh, yeah. Fucking that kid's going to grow up to be a professional bodybuilder. I wouldn't be surprised if he was one.
There we go. I would. They're working at the plant, and the plant looks fucking wild. I don't know what they're doing at the plant, but I wouldn't last 2 minutes at this fucking place.
Yeah.
It's fucking nuts.
It's no steel mill.
Nothing like the mill.
Yeah, nothing like
that.
Yeah, we're on the same page.
Yeah.
So that shit. Same time.
Guy comes up, he asks John, he's like, did you take my, my grinding wheel? And Denzel's like, I do have sex appeal, don't I? He's like, my grinding wheel. It was in my locker. We're the only two that know the combination. Is that it? And he's like, you can borrow mine if you want. And he's like, that's my grinding wheel, John. And they're laughing. And he's like, let's take a smoke break. And we don't see the smoke break. But what do you? You're just over here typing shit. What are you doing? What are you doing? What are you looking for?
I'm looking up what this kid grew up into be. Trying to see if he grew up into be an actual bodybuilder.
Did he?
No, I don't know yet, but I'm looking.
I mean, it's very. You Googled just the name. You go to the cast and click. I don't think you're looking that up, and that's okay.
Let's see.
There he is.
He's looking big.
Not bodybuilder big though.
No, yeah, just a really big head.
Looks like he just kept being an actor.
From this angle, he looks swole. I don't know. I'd have to.
That made more sense. He acted in a movie about body, like Johnny Depp isn't a pirate. He didn't move to Somalia and start fucking attacking cargo ships.
Daniel E. Smith.
So, John's wearing a tie, and his buddy is like, what's with the tie? What are you doing? And he's like, I'm applying for this job. And he's like, what job? There's no jobs. Want me to go with you? And he's like, yeah. And then we just see him. This is Jimmy, is his name. It's his buddy Jimmy.
Jimmy!
And Jimmy like tries to get something from the vending machine and it doesn't come out, and he just starts kicking the shit out of the vending machine, going crazy. And then he's like, come on, John, fucking 400 people applying here for one job. No shot you're getting it. There's so many people there. You're like, Jimmy, why'd you go? Why the fuck are you there with him? And then he sits down, he's like, I guarantee you, they'll tell you they're going to keep your application on file or that you're too qualified.
Yeah.
And then John goes in there and the guy tells them both.
Yeah.
So Jimmy was right, but fuck you, Jimmy.
Yeah, and I feel like in a lot of these movies, we always see someone who is right, but the guy who's right is always kind of stubborn and like a prick, but he's always kicking a fucking vending machine.
No.
Jurassic World 3. He was actually wrong, but then he ended up being right. The dude with the eggs.
Yeah, he was never right.
Yeah, I guess.
He was only wrong.
Yeah, fuck.
He was just there with Alan.
I guess you're right, David.
He kind of looks like Suave Smooth.
He kind of does look like Suave Smooth. He's clean cut, not too swole, not a bodybuilder. No Ronnie Coleman.
Ronnie Coleman.
But, good for that guy. Good for him.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Abso-fucking-lutely. Good for that guy. So we're at church. They're singing. And Mikey, like, gets his dad's attention. He's like, Dad, game starts in 15 minutes. And he's like, all right. And then Jimmy is 2 rows behind. And Jimmy's like, hey, fucking 15 minutes. Let's go.
Mom does not give a fuck.
They're at church. Fuck the game. And what's Jimmy's deal?
Yeah.
What's Jimmy? Why is Jimmy going to the game? Why is he
I
in
don't
the
understand.
church?
I love Jimmy. I love Jimmy, but I don't get him. Yeah. Him and his wife or some shit are there.
No, don't you dare call her that. Don't you fucking dare call her that. So now it's Mikey's baseball game. That's the game.
Yeah.
We're at the game.
Big game.
Jimmy's drinking a beer and his bitch is all over him. All right? We don't know that they're married.
Guys.
She's just the chick that's all over him all movie.
That's true.
That's his old lady.
It's kind of like Conor McGregor and his wife.
Yeah. That was wild.
What? Just rubbing the chest.
It's your husband, lady.
Yeah.
This isn't your date that you're
I
like,
thought you were calling me ridiculous for
No.
making that comparison.
No.
Yeah.
Like, fucking, this is your husband. You've been married for years. We're in public, like, getting your hand all over his chest. Like,
He's sitting next to
sexy,
one of
huh?
the, if not the greatest actor of our generation. And that's what she's doing? Have some respect for Jake Gyllenhaal.
Ugh. It's Mikey's baseball game. Mikey's up, and he's so fucking happy when he sees his parents in the stand. This kid's just fucking adorable.
He's
guys.
living
Like,
the life.
They make you fall in love with this kid instantly.
Yeah.
Fucking instantly. The mom is first ball is a strike, and the mom's screaming at the umpire, and Jimmy's like, "You're fucking blind!" And Jimmy's like, "No fucking way that kid's 12 years old." Jimmy's like, "No fucking way he's 12."
And I actually
Why
love
is
that
Jimmy
line.
Jimmy doesn't have a kid.
Yeah.
Jimmy's just there and drinking and being like, "This is fucking nuts."
What he does have, though, is a sick hat. Wears that hat throughout the whole movie.
There we go.
Reminds me a lot of my wolf hat, but instead he's got an eagle
There we go.
because he's flying high.
Eagles are better
Freedom.
than wolves. That's what he's saying.
Yeah, actually, some. There's some eagles that will take
All.
that will.
All eagles are better than all wolves.
I don't know.
All eagles are better than all wolves. Every single one of them, even retarded ones, are better than fully grown, full strength wolves. That's a retarded face.
It's like
you made the face.
Yeah.
You made the face to somehow make me saying the word retarded not as bad. Not as bad. You did.
say it.
You did the face.
Can you imagine a retarded eagle?
Oh, fuck the wolf up.
But
Be so strong.
There are videos though of eagles that will like grab a wolf or like a small fox off of like a mountain and just literally like chuck it off the mountain. And just like come up out of nowhere, grab it and like basically throw it off the mountain and just like let it fall to its death and just come up, peck at it.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah,
All eagles, man.
fucking smart as shit.
So Mikey, he legs out an infield single, and then like runner's going home, so first baseman throws it there. Mikey takes off for second. He's running, and then as he's running, he like grabs his chest, and we see his eyes roll back, and he falls hard as fuck.
Yeah.
He just
Face first.
plants into the clay.
Yeah.
John sprints onto the field. Jimmy's calling for a fucking ambulance. And John's like, we don't have time for that. He picks Mikey up, runs to the truck, and they take off. Jimmy and his bitch stay at the field, though, because Jimmy's like, yeah, I'm not letting this ruin my afternoon. I left the house to crush some brews and watch some dingers, and I'm not letting this fucking kid's heart attack stop me from doing that.
Play ball.
Play ball, let's go. All right.
And then,
Next man up, right, coach?
the moment this happened, I was like, oh, here we go. I know why David chose this fucking film. He's trying to get all political. I get it. My mom's been talking about all these conspiracies about the COVID jab causing myocarditis, athletes of all ages dropping on the field all over the world, and now David's fucking picking this movie, throwing jabs at my mom through a fucking podcast. I get what you're doing.
Yeah,
it worked.
absolutely.
I fucking love it.
Your mom's livid.
Yeah, when she sees this.
Mom said, you picked that fucking movie? Pick that fucking movie.
You
Are
guys-
you fucking kidding me?
The following week episode.
You're going to go from American History X to this? You're going to sit at my father's table?
But it's going to happen next week because once when it comes out, it's going to take for like a day for her
She
to
knows.
see it.
She already knows.
And then when we're recording, she's going to come up and fucking sock you blindside.
What do you do? If she is the instigator. She comes
yeah.
up and blindsides me. And then, dude, it's game on at that point for me. I fucking go after her.
You're so pissed off.
I'm
You
fucking livid.
throw your shirt down.
I'm just fucking throwing punches at her.
Oh, man.
Do you try to restrain me and you're like, dude, I'm sorry, or do you try to fuck me up?
Well, I'm definitely going to restrain you. But then what's going to be great is
She starts hitting me while you're restraining me.
Well, no.
She's not done. It's the
Well, neither are you, though.
That is the old Bowler family beatdown. I see what you're getting at here.
So, but like while I'm holding you, you just like won't have enough. You're just like, you just keep making more comments.
Let me fucking at her.
Yeah, well, fuck you. Yeah, maybe the vaccines were a good thing. Fuck you. Yeah.
Spitting at
It
her.
gets like you just, but you don't even. It's not whether or not you believe that shit or not. It's just like you're saying it just to piss her off. You know what I'm saying? Like yeah, it does cause myocarditis. You fucking yeah. And she's like, how dare you say that in my home? And I'm like, yeah, hit him harder.
Hit him harder. Here we go. So we're at the hospital, and they get in, they yell for help, and fucking E from Entourage is the nurse.
Oh, you know what? What's up, E? You followed me on Instagram for like 2 years and then just stopped following me. What's up?
Kevin Connerly?
Yes. And I'm going, and I have fucking evidence, and I will be tagging you
I mean,
very soon.
you act like he was wrong to unfollow you.
Well, I'm sure what
He got
happened
tired,
was
he got tired of seeing like your 3-year-old fucking Grand Canyon trips and be like, man, this guy's in Palm Beach Gardens. Guy's in Palm Beach Gardens 1 minute, he's at the Grand Canyon again the next. I don't buy it. I don't fucking buy it. Oh, now he's kicking the heavy bag? Fuck this. Oh, he has a podcast? Fuck this guy. All right, I'm over it.
Well, what I'm sure happened was he thought I was a different Braden that was actually like famous and like an actor and like successful and shit.
Does that person exist?
No, I don't know. But I don't know. That's what I'm saying, because he followed me instead of that other Braden. And then realized 2 years later, I'm not following the right Braden. This guy seemed really cool and famous, but he's not. I have the wrong Braden. And he unfollowed me.
Nah, I like the other scenario
What?
where he thought you were going to be a fun follow and then saw you like kicking the heavy bag and talking about body awareness and stuff. And he's like, oh, just fucking over it. I'm over it. All right? Fucking over it.
Yeah. So what's up, Kevin? You got some beef, bro?
He's E. Why would you call him by his real name? He's E.
That's his Instagram.
Eric Murphy.
Yeah.
E.
Tell him that, man.
So he gets. I'm not gonna tell him shit. I'm not gonna tell him shit. Gets a lady doctor. What a world we live in.
Yeah.
Fucking lady doctor comes to help.
Quality,
And
man.
Mom's yelling at everybody, which is understandable. She's terrified.
Oh, yeah.
Her kid might be dead. And another lady in the hospital. What kind of hospital is this?
Yeah, I don't know.
Just a bunch of ladies? There's too many ladies.
What this world's coming to,
There's
David.
too many fucking ladies. That's what this world was.
Yeah.
This movie came out 21 years ago.
Well, yeah. Hollywood. They're just trying to create change. Damn it. You know what? Allergic to bullshit. Will Smith line from iRobot.
That's a deep pull right
yeah,
there.
Yeah.
Fucking iRobot. So we're in the hospital, and the lady gets mom and dad the fuck out of there. She's like, we gotta fucking test your blood. He might need a blood transfusion. Blah blah blah. But it's really, let's get you guys out of this room because you're gonna make everyone's job harder. Be in here. John's giving info at the front desk, and then Jimmy comes in. He's like, this kid better fucking die if I'm like, she made me come. We're wasting a fucking Saturday.
Yeah.
Being here. He better be dead.
Yeah.
And they hug, and the lady kind of interrupts them talking. Like, Jimmy comes in. He's like, how is he? I love you guys. Blah, blah, blah. It was very nice. And she's like, Mr. Archibald, your insurance. And he's like,
What?
what? She's like, I need your insurance card. He's like, oh, yeah. Then hands it to her. And they get to go see Mikey then, and he has fucking breathing tube in. It's sad.
Yeah,
And
it's...
he says he can't talk, and they're like, all right, well, don't talk. And the main, there's a male nurse there who's kind of Mikey's main nurse the
and
whole
he
movie.
is swole.
He is.
He is not your typical nurse. He probably benches like 435. Guessing for like 2 to 3. Big guy.
So he's not even maxing out at 1 with that.
No.
He's getting a couple reps in.
Yeah.
Look at that. Good for this guy.
Yeah, well controlled. And what I noticed, which is funny, they try to like give him bigger clothing that like went almost literally down to his fucking wrists. So when he points up at like the screen explaining like what's happening, you just see from like a couple inches before his wrist down, and you're like, holy shit, his forearms are huge. And that's from like 2 inches above the wrist and down. And like they were trying to hide, like even his fingers, like they were trying to hide his body in his clothing.
Well, I don't know if they were actively trying to hide it.
I think so.
I think they gave him the scrubs that they got and weren't like, well, let's
give him double
really
XL.
make sure they fit. They were just like, this is what we have. Who gives a shit? He's the fucking nurse that has a couple lines in this movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's what I don't think they were like, we gotta hide that. Because if you got a fucking jacked, awesome looking guy that you cast for a movie, you're like, we want to show the body.
Well, I don't think so in this scenario
like,
because
hide
I
that.
think it takes you out of the scene. If you see someone who's so jacked and
I
it's like there's
wanted-
no point to that
I wanted a
jackness.
will they, won't they between him and the mom.
Mm.
I wanted that all to be that. He's like, oh man, your husband's having a hard time paying the bills, huh? That's terrible. I'd never let your car get taken. That's what I wanted.
Oh,
I didn't
man.
get it.
Just some fucking ego.
And I didn't get it. So he explains that if Mikey's blood pressure drops below 70 again, he's fucking toast.
Yeah. Heart failure.
And we see it drop from 88 to 87.
Time is ticking.
Uh-oh. We're then in the boardroom. It's James Woods. He's a surgeon. He's got 2 chicks. And they're talking about John and his wife when they walk in. And they're like, hey, nice to meet you, blah, blah, blah. They
were talking about
one
insurance.
chick says, can we do anything? And the blonde, short-haired chick we come to know as Rebecca Payne, she's the director of the hospital. Her response to can we do anything was like she didn't say anything, but makes a face like, no. Like, fucking, why would we do that?
So you slightly
Why would
pick
we
up-
do that for this fucking N-word family?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
It's fucking bullshit. We're not
Yeah.
doing that.
Yeah.
Ugh.
She was probably Davina from American History X. She's all grown up.
Davina was the sister who was the fucking Democrat.
Yeah.
So you think she
Just had a big
got
character arc.
bad and racist?
Oh, totally.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Maybe.
Yeah, big twist. Because once when the brothers have their character arc, it's like that.
Davina needs to go in the opposite direction.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
When Danny died, she turned into, man, those effing ends.
Yes.
They did this to my family.
And
Yeah.
she's like, how am I going to have the most control to be able to, like, do this, legally, but also get paid?
Yeah. Director of a hospital. Director of a fucking hospital. John asks, he says, how's our boy doing? And they say, yeah, will you sit down? He's like, that's no good. James Woods says a bunch of fancy shit about Mikey and his heart, and Denzel's like, yeah, I don't
understand.
Come on, we do layman's terms, and he just says his heart's 3 times the size of a normal heart. Without a heart transplant, Mikey's gonna die.
I think that's something that happened to Corbin. Corbin had some type of heart surgery when he was first born.
They said his heart is 3 times the size of a normal heart, and without a heart transplant, he's gonna die.
No.
There's no.
But it was close. It was life-threatening.
There's no way. But yeah, there's no way Corbin had a heart transplant.
He didn't have a heart transplant, but he did have heart surgery when he was born.
There we go.
So, and I didn't know that until like 10 years after.
Is that why he talked weird and
Huh.
we made fun of him
Yeah.
all of childhood for talking weird?
Yeah. Which he deserved.
And it's because he had heart surgery as a
Yeah.
child.
Mm-hmm.
There we go.
You know, sometimes.
There we go. We're
yeah.
good people.
Yeah.
Rebecca, so James Woods is like, without a heart transplant, he's going to die. And then Rebecca Payne is like, well, you know, maybe we just drug him up, make him comfortable. You're like, holy shit.
Holy shit.
What a piece of shit. James Woods, they're like, we saw him today. He seemed fine. He's like, he may seem fine, but his heart's going to be trying harder and harder to work. He's going to get more and more fatigued. He's going to sleep more until one time he goes to sleep and doesn't wake up.
Yeah.
And then Rebecca Payne's like, yeah, maybe. Yeah, no, I hear you. Like, maybe we're all saying the same thing here. Like, maybe you just say goodbye to Mikey and let him go. And they're like, we really don't think we're all on the same page here.
Well, and the big thing is that Payne is trying to find the most ethical way of manipulating them into not trying to do a transplant, so that this way nothing is kind of on the hospital.
Yeah.
She's like trying to cover
That
her
is-
tracks in the most like ethical way, and she's just really fucked up.
James Woods is the surgeon, and he's telling them like
I would absolutely.
he's telling them what they need to do to help him. She's the director of the hospital who knows they can't fucking afford it.
Yeah.
And she's like, you know, maybe we just let him die.
Yeah.
John asks how long he'll live without the surgery. James Woods says not long. Could be months, could be weeks, could be days. Mom is handling it about as well as you would think someone would.
Yeah,
being
for
told,
sure.
Being
Well,
told their
and-
son could be alive for days.
And it's crazy because they give off somewhat of the energy as to like, kind of like, are we really doing this here? To the point where Denzel Washington has to make a comment being like, I'm sorry. We
Yeah.
have to
Yeah.
this is a lot right now.
The 3 people on the other side of the table are like, come on. like they're annoyed that she's crying like that. Denzel's like, sorry, it's just a lot to take in.
You're trying to tell us
It's a
right
lot,
now
you know.
within 30 seconds of you telling us what happens with our child to decide our child's fate. It's fucking crazy.
So John asked James Woods, said, what would you do if it was your son? And he says, I would do the surgery. Absolutely.
And he's like, all right.
And John says, great, let's do that. And then
Nice.
James Woods says they need to get Mikey on the donor list, and since he's B positive, he should go right to the top of the list. I'm guessing because not a lot of people are B positive, would be my guess.
Yeah.
Like, there's not going to be a ton of
So I'm guessing too.
people needing it. Rebecca Payne then says their insurance doesn't cover it. These broke bitches can't afford it. And John's like, I have insurance, major medical.
And he said,
it'll cover it. That's,
Bitch, I got insurance.
And she says, you're not covered. You don't own your home. You don't have any stocks or bonds. You got about $1,000 in the bank. And this surgery costs around $250,000. So
You just see their faces fucking like sink.
Yeah. Rebecca Payne then says
gets worse.
that they need $75,000 as a down payment just to get his name on the list.
And I'm sure that's fucking true. And that actually does show, I feel like, how crazy some of the procedures of like leading up to this is. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, that's fucking
So
crazy.
they're getting angry.
Yeah.
John and his wife are you fucking kidding me? This is fucking nuts.
Yeah.
Rebecca Payne goes, hey, it costs money to provide health care. It's expensive for you. It's expensive for us. This has to be the worst fucking job in the world. Because it's not her money. Like, she's the salaried employee as the director of this hospital. And she has to go into that room with those people where she knows James Woods has to give his medical opinion.
Yeah.
That, hey, we should we should do the surgery that is going to give Mikey the best chance to live. And she has to be like, they can't afford the surgery.
And this is
It's wishful thinking they're going to get to do the surgery. I have to be the one to tell them this. That job has to fucking suck. Police officer at Gardens High School, best job in the world.
Oh, for sure.
Director of a hospital telling parents that they can't afford to get their kid a fucking heart transplant, worst job in the world.
For sure. And the big thing is the movie's making her out to be like one of the main antagonists and stuff like that. And yeah, she deserves it for the way that they make this character and everything. But in real life, and I wish they would have showed this in the movie, is the reason why this shit is happening in this movie in real life is because the people who actually own the hospital, the investors who are creating these terms and stuff like that, who are pressuring her as well to never do something like this, as you know, like making her do this, because she's not the one that owns. I mean, unless she is, and it's like a family-owned
She's
fucking thing.
not.
Okay, so that's what I'm saying. Like she's just
She's the director.
yeah. So she's
She worked her ass off.
So
She's probably very good at finance and operations and shit like that. She runs a hospital.
and in real life, this shit happens fucking damn near probably every day, and that's like yeah, exactly. So it's probably such a shitty job, and then one thing.
And fuck James Woods. James Woods knew they couldn't afford the fucking thing.
Yeah.
And he's just like, I would absolutely do the surgery. We got to do the surgery. Let's get Mikey on that donor list. Let's do it. Right, Rebecca?
We'll get right to the front.
Yeah. Right, Rebecca? And she's like, no.
After they've already talked about this before.
Yeah.
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 Just kind of threw her under the bus. But I did wish that in this movie we would have saw like her getting pressured from whoever actually owns the hospital to kind of be like that.
Yeah, I kind of like her being the bad guy.
Yeah, I did too, but yeah.
And I don't think...
Just, the reason why I say that too is because they're trying to address the real life issues of these things. The real life issue is the fact that it's
like
not
there's
really
these people above Rebecca
Yeah.
who are like, no, we're not giving a... We can make...
Are you fucking kidding me, Rebecca?
Yeah.
What are you stupid? Yeah. Why do you think I hired you? So we can make all the fucking money, stupid? That's how he probably talks.
John and his wife are leaving, and the other chick that was in the room there runs after them. She's like, "Hey, don't do anything crazy." And he's like, "We'll take him over to county medical. They have to treat him, like whatever. It's a state-run facility.
They have to."
And she's like, "No, they don't. A heart transplant is considered an elective." And then she's like, "Go talk to your insurance. Apply for financial aid here. I know there's money in it."
Because insurance,
She's like, there's Children's State Services, there's Medicaid. You find a way to keep him here. Just don't take no for an answer.
don't take. You hear that, people? When someone tries to tell you no, you say fuck that.
You don't take it for an answer.
You don't take it.
Speaking of which, I want to take a break for editing purposes, and I'm not going to take no for an answer.
All right, fine.
Stick around. We'll be right back. And we're back. FUDJ.
Fudge.
The plan ain't the mill, guys. That's just for damn sure.
Yeah, it's just
John's meeting with HR, and the guy's like, yeah, we switched from a PPO to an HMO a little while back and didn't tell you. And he's like, that's fucking crazy. He's like, yeah, and you're only part-time now, so you only get second tier. He's like, no, I'm full-time. We're just slow, so the hours. And he's like, yeah, but your hours are part-time, so you get part-time benefits, which is second-tier catastrophic coverage, which has a maximum payout of $20,000. And John's just like, it's fucking crazy. John's like, hey, they've been taking money out of my check every week for years. Like, this is crazy. And the guy cuts in and says, right. And that's why we're gonna. Will you hold my mic so I can do the hand gesture he does? Like,
Yeah.
over here? He's like, right. That's why we're gonna pay the whole 20. We're gonna pay the whole 20. Like he does like a gesture, like I'm giving this to you. Gesture. That's why we're gonna cover the whole 20.
And that's why it's almost hard sometimes to get your head to wrap around like insurances and policies and stuff.
John like laughs and he's like, are you kidding right now? Like,
are you fucking kidding me? I've been paying this for years.
Like, so let me get this straight. You dropped me to part-time. Then you switched carriers. I kept paying into it. And I'm not covered, even though I have a form here telling me that I'm covered. And the guy goes, doesn't seem right, does it? And John goes, no, it does not seem right. My son is very sick. If if I'm not covered, then this is very bad.
Yeah, and they do a really good job at building the scene up because you feel not exactly, but you feel very close to probably what Denzel is feeling in this moment, where you're just like,
this is fucking bullshit.
you want to beat the shit out of this dude,
I'm so angry,
and like this insurance company to the fucking ground.
So that's his HR rep at the plant.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he's not at an insurance office. That is his guy at the plant.
Yeah, fuck that dude.
Like, yeah, or his fucking union.
Fuck that
rep,
dude, but
whoever he
also
is.
fuck the insurance company.
So yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Fuck the insurance company first and foremost.
Oh, totally.
That dude's doing his job and like a shitty job. It sucks.
Yeah.
So the guy's like, you can fill out a fucking form.
Good luck.
Takes up to 7 working days for it to get addressed. He's like, all right. So
And that's
it
another
takes it,
good
fills
thing
it
that they
out.
do during this part is showing not only how hard it is for all the things that they're trying to get, but how long it's all going to take, which is now setting up more pressure and anxiety and stress that we are getting
He's
as the viewer.
got to wait 7 days to get a response on this.
And time
Form
is
fills
of
out,
the
and this
essence.
kid could die.
Yeah.
He goes to financial aid lady who tells him and his wife that, oh man, you should be on welfare. That would make this easier. And tells them they're not approved because they're not on welfare. They both work. So they're not approved for financial aid. Then John's yelling in another meeting, and his wife's like, you need to stop yelling. Stop yelling. John and his wife, they wait in the wrong line. It looks like a nightmare. Just a billion people. It looks like they're all struggling. And he waits in a line, then gets up to the front, and the guy's like, wrong line.
These lines are as
be-
bad as like
You
at
wanna
the
be-
DMV.
You want to be number 15. And he's like, what? He's like, yeah, 15. And then he goes over and like to like a smaller line thinking like, oh, this is the one. This will be fine. And then he looks at the guy, he's like, this one? And the guy goes, and there's a line with like 200 people.
Yeah.
Like a fuck you long line. The next guy, he's sitting at a desk. He just says, no. John goes, no what? He's like, no, you don't qualify. He's like, I don't qualify? He's like, my son's dying and I'm broke. If I don't qualify, who the hell does?
Yeah, and he exactly. It's like, what the fuck are you guys talking about? Like, this is your bread and butter insurance company. Like, this is like the main reason why you help people like me in this position.
And he's not meeting with other insurance companies. He's meeting with like financial aid and like state services that like provide shit for sick children, stuff like that. And they're just like, you don't qualify. And the guy's like, yeah, sorry. He's like, no, I don't need you to apologize. I need you to help me. And they're like, yeah, no.
me.
Then finally some good news. John won the appeal. Filled out the appeal. Comes back positive. He's like, yes.
Yes.
He goes and meets with Rebecca Payne and shows it to her. And she goes, this is an appeal. And he goes, yeah. He goes, you need to file a grievance. And he's like, what are you talking? This is what they told me to fill out. She's like, yeah, no, you need to fill out grievance. She doesn't even say that. She goes, you filed the wrong paperwork. You're going to have to resubmit it, and it could take 30 days. He goes, I don't have 30 days. She goes, I know.
She is.
I know. It's a fucking bananas answer.
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah, you definitely get pretty heated watching this movie.
John's frustrated, and he's like, I'm filling out these forms, all this shit. I got to come up with all this money, and like, you guys do all this shit. And she's like, hey, you're 30 grand in the hole with us right now, all right? We've bent over backward to keep your fucking son in this hospital, but there is a limit to our generosity. Like, just making him feel so small
Well, it's crazy because it's like,
he wants his son to live.
Well, it's crazy.
Making him feel like he's the asshole.
No, yeah. And what's crazy is he's given 30 grand already. And how long?
No.
I thought that's what you just said too.
30 grand in the hole, meaning
Like 30, like you're already
she
30
added it
grand
up,
in
like
debt. You don't have 30 grand.
We've had,
Yeah.
We've spent 30. It's cost us 30 grand to have him here.
Yeah.
And you have not
Well,
paid us that.
And that way, and I was gonna also touch on that too. It's just crazy how much they overcharge for everything in the hospital.
Dude.
The reason why they do that,
Dude, I went to the hospital. I had like a fucking allergic reaction, like hives all over my body at like 3 a.m.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, all right, I really don't think I'm making this to the fucking morning when like urgent cares and stuff open.
Yeah.
Where I can go. I was like, I don't want to wait. My fucking throat starts closing.
Yeah.
I got to drive. So I drove to Gardens Hospital.
different hospital.
Drove to a hospital.
Yeah.
And I went there, sat in. They wanted me to put a hospital gown on. I said no. They brought me back to a room. I didn't lay in the bed. I sat in a chair
Yeah.
wearing clothes. They took my vitals. Doctor came in, pulled up my shirt. He said, yep, hives. Let me get you some prednisone. Clear that shit right up. And it did. Worked like a charm.
Nice.
They took my vitals again. Then I left. Few weeks later, I got a bill in the mail. I have insurance.
Yeah.
I got a bill in the mail saying that my insurance paid $2,300 and I'm on the hook for the remaining $4,200. I just never did anything. And one day they were like, how about you pay us $130? And I said, done.
Deal.
Yeah.
Deal.
Like one day, like 3 years later, they were like, all right, how about $130 now? And I'm like, yeah, I can do that.
It's fucking bonkers to me, dude. That's one.
Dude, my
disgusting.
insurance company,
It's disgusting.
the fact that they got $2,000 out of my insurance company, they should be like, that's nuts.
I know they're coming after you.
We fucking crushed it.
But they don't stop.
Yeah.
It's like
They were like,
that
let's
whole-
see if we get. And there's people who would be like, all right, what's the right thing? I got to pay it. And they would fucking work out a payment plan with the hospital and pay off $4,200. I said, no, I didn't cost them a gown or a fucking sheet that goes on the bed.
It's fucking highway robbery, man. And I talked to my sister a lot because she knows like a lot of the expenses on a lot of the shit, and it's just so grossly overpaid. And they do that because some hospitals are like, I guess, legally obligated to work on people who don't have insurance. I don't know all the ins and outs legally, but I guess there are some or all hospitals have to, even if you don't have insurance, to a degree. Obviously not open heart surgery, but and then because of that, they take on so many extra costs to these people that they don't get paid from their insurance because they don't have any, to where they upcharge everyone and everything and even the other insurances, which is just ridiculous. And they ended up making so much fucking money that it's a hot commodity to open up a fucking hospital. And that's it's a money making business, dude. I'm not trying
absolutely.
to, like, even pharmaceutical companies, they all work hand in hand, man. I mean, it's crazy, dude. How much of a, I don't know, fucking just money making business that shit is, dude.
Oh, absolutely. It's bananas.
It's kind of disheartening sometimes, but
So then Rebecca Payne then says, now I'll tell you what. I can make that $30,000 just disappear. But you're going to have to do something for me.
and then
We're going to... No, come on. Mine's better. Mine's better. All right? You got to just say goodbye to the little guy and let him go. But I got to be the one that pulls the plug. And I get to be alone in the room when it happens.
oh my god,
When the lights go out, I get to be the one who experiences it. Not you. Not your fucking wife.
oh my god,
Me, Rebecca Payne.
she
Wait,
has that look.
Do
in
we
her
have
eye.
a deal, John? And he says, no, absolutely not.
Yeah. And then she's like, "Are you sure?"
So Jimmy and his bitch are giving John's wife money at the thing. Like, she's made her tips and she's giving them to her, and she's like, thank you. John sells his fridge, and Jimmy's yelling as they're loading it up into the truck. The priest gives John the money from the collection plate. After all this work and all this running around, John's up to $4,135. And it's just, and he's like, what? And then like starts recounting it. And he's like, no way, that's it? Like, it's just showing, like, it's
hard.
It's fucking impossible for him to get that much money.
Yeah.
Mikey is in the hospital, and he's flexing and making mom and dad and Jimmy and his bitch laugh. And we see his systolic blood pressure drop to 86. Like, John sees it.
Oh,
He's like,
Yep.
Mikey is sleeping, and they look at the other room, and there's an exorcist going on.
David, I was literally going to say, that girl looks like she is possessed.
There's a fucking exorcist going on in
the
the next
makeup
room.
department fucked up on this girl.
I mean,
That's all I'll say.
This is what they were going for.
Yeah, that's
they
gotta
wanted
be.
exorcist. There was a priest and
Well,
everything.
I was hoping then she was gonna levitate out of her fucking bed or something.
Well, they couldn't. They didn't want to. It wasn't that kind of movie. They just wanted you to know, like, hey, there's an exorcist going on.
Because
bro.
wasn't there a priest?
But they didn't want. Yeah,
Yeah.
they didn't want the movie to be about the exorcist, and that's it becomes about it if you show that.
Yeah.
So they had to just. It's happening.
And then it's spooky
You,
vibes.
you know what's happening. But
Yeah.
back to the story.
Mm.
Mikey's systolic drops down to 84. We're having a yard sale. John's selling all his shit. Jimmy's telling him we should reach out to that news guy, Lampley. Get him to do like a special interest story on this. He's like, all right. Guy offers John $20 for the TV. And then John says what I quote more than anything else in this movie, and it's not even fucking close, which is a wild thing for me to quote. John goes, it's a color TV. And the guy then just like aggressively gets in his face. That was the quote. I said, it's color TV.
It's like
The guy aggressively gets in his face and goes, $20, boy. And he takes the $20 and he looks at Jimmy and says, Call him up, Jimmy. The news guy. We then meet Lampley. He's beautiful. He's a beautiful man. Getting ready to do the news.
so beautiful.
John's explaining the situation. The dude's like, oh, man, that's terrible. That is fucking terrible. I want to help. I want to do a story about your son, but I got to run this up. My producers, I got bosses just like anybody else. But leave your number with Sandra. I believe her name was Karen. With Karen up front, and we'll make it happen.
Yeah.
And he doesn't. He's fucking blowing him off. He's like, I got this sad dad telling me about his fucking dying kid, and I know we're not going to do
Never
it.
even gets readdressed. But one thing I was kind of thinking when I was seeing around this part of the movie was, man, wouldn't it have been smarter to just sell your home?
They don't own their home.
Yeah, but you can still make money off your home if depending on the market is my point.
They don't own, they rent. They
Oh,
don't-
okay.
Yeah, they're not.
I thought
they're
you
not,
meant
they're
like
not
the
bank
bank
owns it
owns
and they're
it.
paying the mortgage.
Yeah,
No,
yeah.
they're renting it from a landlord.
Okay. Then
Yeah.
I guess fuck.
And
it,
he sells the truck in the next scene. Like,
well, that's what I was gonna
yeah.
say. Like instead of selling all those,
John
things,
is doing fucking everything he can.
No, I know,
Yeah.
and I just didn't. I thought like if he
Yeah.
did own it, then maybe
Braden's
just
Braden's sitting here saying he didn't do enough. Next scene, he pawns his fucking wife's diamond wedding band for $90.
That's what I'm saying. Like it would if they owned, it would have been smarter than just go rent. Make that money, pay off that everything.
Mikey's down to 80. Systolic clock's running out.
Oh,
John-
it's getting low.
John sells the truck. His money was up to before he did those two things. Money's up to $16,585.
Yeah,
That's still though
super low.
that's still less than 1/10 of what he needs.
Yeah.
and he has done everything to get there.
Yeah,
It's
everyone's
fucking
chipping
awful.
in the community. It's just not enough.
John's wife calls him sobbing and angry, and she says they're releasing him, John. They're releasing him. James Woods was just in here. They're sending Mikey home this morning, John. John's like, no, I paid them yesterday. What are you? It's like, it doesn't matter. They're releasing him. You need to do something.
What the fuck are you gonna do?
You need to do something, John. He then goes and he sits in Mikey's room.
And there
Like,
are
Mikey's-
Ronnie Coleman posters everywhere.
Over his bed, all over the place.
It reminds me a little bit of my room when I used to have up the WWE women all over. The posters I used to have up.
Yeah, was it the women?
I had 3.
Was it like John Cena,
Well, I'm pretty
Eddie Guerrero, and
pretty
The
sure I was
Rock?
gonna hang up
Because that leads so much better into what I was about to say. And
It
I wish you
does,
would have said
but
the wrestlers,
Yeah.
because I say that kid is either gonna grow up to be a homosexual, which I'm all for,
Yeah.
or he's just gonna be very confused.
I
Like that.
don't get it.
Yeah, he's gonna be very confused.
I'm confused. I get it.
No.
No. Oh, okay.
Yeah. So John's busting to the hospital. James Woods joking around with one of his patients. He's like, he's in a wheelchair, and he's like, when can I play tennis again? And he's like, when can you play? You couldn't play before. What do you mean, when can you play tennis again? You can't believe this guy? This guy wants to play tennis? You can't play tennis. You suck.
Yeah.
His girlfriend, or not his girlfriend, his fucking, someone who works for him Goes, I like tennis. He's like, well, nobody cares what you like, sweetie.
Yes.
Matter of fact, what are you even doing here? Walk off, keep walking. He's like, hey, and set up dinner for me and these two.
Yeah.
And
Learn
the
your
lady's,
fucking place.
And the lady's like, oh, I'll cook for you. He's like, you're not cooking. You're not cooking. No cooking, no lingerie. I've seen his will. You're not in the will. All right? I don't know why you would cook for him. I don't know. Don't buy lingerie, none of that. They're all laughing. And then John walks up and says, I gave the hospital $6,000 yesterday. Can I talk to you?
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah.
It was the best build up to get broken back down in that scene, in that moment.
James Woods like, yeah, for sure. And then he like says bye to them, and they're walking. And John's walking, and James Woods kind of gives him the whole, hey, it's above my pay grade. What do you want me to do? My hands are tied. There's nothing I
I'm
can-"
not the
fills
director.
Fills up. I just do the surgeries they tell me to do, you know?
Yeah.
I'm just a working man. We're the same, me and you. I'm
Yeah.
just a working class man doing surgeries.
And he's like, all right, well, let's go take a fucking walk.
He's like,
Walk
"Can I-
with
can
me."
I walk with you, man? He's like, this hospital charges $250,000 for a surgery. Last year, they did. I forget the number. 300. They did 300. Do you know how much money that is? I do, because I did the math. That is $75 million. Now, you're telling me that you can't do one for my son in good faith? He's like, I'm going to pay you back. I swear to God. I don't know how I'm going to do it, but I'll pay you back the money.
He starts
All
like
right?
kind
I
of
am
grabbing his
begging
arm
you.
a little bit.
I am begging you. I will pay you back. I swear to God. Oh, but yeah, he says something fun. He says, I give you my word as a man. Please.
Will you let go of me? Please.
And then he's like, I've done everything I can do. All right? And then he goes, no, you haven't. Let's go inside and talk about it. And then James was like, no, I'm not going. And then he shoves him through a door, and we see he's got a motherfucking gun. Ah! Wife said do something. John Q's fucking doing something.
Says one stay in the head, little
One
motherfucker.
stay in the head. So he shoves him through the door, and he's like, I'm not asking you anymore, doctor. I'm telling you
And this is when Training Day really comes out.
that you're going to get my son a new heart. Do you understand me? And he's like, yeah, no, I understand. Like a bitch. Like a
Yeah.
bitch. He's like, yeah. John chains the door shut behind him.
He also says, you see this? This my bitch. He's talking about the gun. Remember? Because in Training Day, he calls the gun
Yeah, I do.
the bitch.
I do.
Yeah.
I get it. Yeah.
Cool.
You don't have to, if you make a reference, you don't have to nudge me and ask if I remember.
Just make it
All
sure.
right, I'm almost always going to remember. And if I don't, I'll go along with it.
No, but the main thing is that you know.
Yeah, I do.
Good.
I know exactly what you're doing.
Good.
I know exactly what you're fucking doing.
Now I feel better.
So he chains the door shut, and James Woods tries to walk away, and John's like, where the fuck you going? I can't shoot you if you're over there. Get the fuck over here. And he's like, all right, you're right. James Woods trying to talk John out of it, and John's not having it. They go up to a security guard, and John like fumbles with the gun and then has it and points it at him. The security guard's Seth from American History X.
Yeah, it's fucking Seth.
And he's like, give me your gun. He's like, I don't have guns. And James Woods is like, they don't have guns.
yeah, but Seth, even though he doesn't have a gun, he is just getting like super racy.
Yeah, he's like, what are you doing here, boy? Your welfare check didn't clear quick enough, so you got to hold up the hospital?
Yeah, it was fucking mean.
They're walking through. John chains another door shut. They're walking through, and the doctor lady from earlier walks up to them. She's like, Mr. Archibald. And then walks up, and he's like, step away, please. She's like, what are you doing?
What?
And James Woods is like, you need to step away. He's like, please, step away, and like flashes the gun at her. She's like, oh, my God. And then a guy goes, he's got a gun! And everybody
everyone.
starts running. It's chaos.
Yeah.
Oh, she says, what are you doing? And he says, I'm taking your advice. I'm not taking no for an answer.
Boom!
Great. James Woods should be like, this is your fault. It's your fault. Bunch of people run.
And he's got like
Elvis is there. Elvis tries to get out. John stops him at the door, and he's like, get your ass down. What are you doing? You crazy?
Elvis
I got a
from
gun.
Alpha Dog.
I
You
got a
guys
gun.
don't remember? He's the one that put a fucking cap in that bitch's ass. The kid that died at the end.
We've covered Alpha Dog not once, but twice.
Yeah.
We do not, just going forward, if we just use a character by their name in that movie, we do not explain why we're calling them that. Moving forward. Johnny Truelove, Justin Timberlake was Frankie.
Yeah,
Did not address that in Black Snake Moan. He was Frankie.
that's a good point.
Elvis is Elvis. We don't explain to them. They either know who Elvis is or they're not a real fucking fan.
That's
All right?
Yep,
I'm also, do you
that's a good point.
think there's a chance that I don't have any Alpha Dog references later? So if they're not sure just based off the name Elvis, they'll be sure later.
That's a good point too.
Yeah.
Yeah. There was something else I was going to
This
say.
ain't, this ain't your first episode with me, all right?
Oh no.
This ain't your first motherfucking episode.
It's definitely not. Oh, but he's got a fucking bag with chains inside and locks, and he's like locking up and chaining up the doors, sealing them shut.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Keep everybody in. Keep everybody in, everybody out. Eddie Griffin's in there, too. Because John's making everyone sit on their hands. And John's like, what are you doing over there? And Eddie Griffin goes, bleeding. Trying to get my fingers sewn back on. His hand's just covered in blood. And he's like,
This is
all right, yeah, that's fair. And then E's in there. E's back. And he's taking care of him.
it's around that time that dude was in every fucking movie.
Eddie Griffin?
Yeah.
I can only think of one other movie he was in.
Fuck, man. No,
He was in The New Guy with the kid from Road Trip. Eddie Griffin was in prison with him, and he taught him how to be hard.
I feel like he's in a lot of shit. I'm just saying, like in the early
You're
2000s.
thinking of Omar Epps because you're racist.
Nope.
Yeah, you're like, is Omar Epps or Martin Lawrence? You're like,
No.
You're like, it's Martin Lawrence, right? The running back from The Replacements is in there.
Yeah,
he's
he
got
is.
a pregnant wife. John's like, hey, everyone's like, hey, come on, I got a pregnant wife over here. My fingers are sewn on. My fiance's hurt. The Spanish lady won't shut the fuck up. And he's like, hey, all right.
Yeah, she's got a crying baby too.
The hospital's under new management now, all right? Yeah. Free health care for everybody.
Yeah,
All right, I like the sound of that.
Especially in that scene right there. That's some Training Day shit.
No.
You don't think so? Free health care for everyone?
He would have said, like, player to player, pimp to pimp. You're going to get your motherfucking fingers sewn back on, all right? So, free health care for everyone. You said it as if I was going to be like, yeah, you're right. That's some Training Day shit, man. Yeah. It's just like in Training Day when you got everybody free health care. I forgot about that. This is what the movie was all about. He just kept getting health care for people.
Alonzo Harris.
He then has Seth and James Woods come with him and has Seth kill the power to the elevator. Smart. He thought this shit through.
Yeah, he's like beating up the cameras and shit. And
Smash it. And the security guard sees him as he's doing it.
yeah.
So.
He's
Eddie
fucking-
Griffin calls E Doogie Howser, which is great.
Yeah.
Do you get the reference there?
Like-
Doogie Howser was a character in the show Doogie Howser MD, which was Neil Patrick Harris, where he was a child doctor. So he's saying, like, E looks like a child, and he's calling him Doogie Howser.
I get it.
Yeah. And he's like, come on, what you doing, Doogie Howser? You squeezing my fingers like that. Elvis tells John, he's like, hey, we were here before the black guy. So Elvis does that. And just everyone is talking as if, like, John should be on top of this shit.
Yeah.
Like, it's bullshit the way he's running this hospital.
Yeah.
It's insane how just everyone immediately isn't like, holy shit, that guy is here with a gun? And he just chained the doors shut and killed the power to the elevator and smashed cameras. He's going to murder all of us.
Yeah, but instead they're like, man, what about me, bro?
My finger's bleeding.
I'm hurt.
having a baby. I was like, the fucking black guy's getting help before I am is bullshit.
And then he kind of starts helping out. It's because he's like, I'm going to start running this shit. All right, fine. I run this shit. And then he starts helping them all. And they pretty quickly are like, all right, good. I like that. Fast service.
So a phone rings, and John answers it, and someone's like, hey, it's an emergency. I need directions to the hospital. And he's like, well, you're not coming to this hospital.
And gives them perfect step-by-step directions to another hospital.
Yeah, this is his fucking town. He knows
Yeah,
how to get there. He's like, where you come from? He's like, all right, you're going to take a left on this and a right on this, then you head straight and you can't miss it. I'm like, okay, thanks. And he sees a chick hiding underneath the desk there while he's on the phone. He has her get out. And everyone's complaining.
But he's like nice to her. She was like super timid.
Yeah, he's not like, get out of here, bitch.
He's not like, get the fuck on the ground, bitch.
Elvis complaining about the fucking... The fucking thing, the service, and he keeps calling him Brother Man.
Yeah.
He's like, Brother Man, brother man, hey, I don't want any issues, brother man, all right?
He does a good
you
job.
and me got no problems. You're like, this guy sucks.
Yeah, he does a good job making you not like him.
The running back's wife, she's yelling. Everyone's just going crazy. John's asking the girl right there. She's like, hey, the baby's got an ear infection. Spanish thing. Can you help her? She's like, no, I can't do that. He's like, why not? She's like, I don't know how. It's my first day.
Yeah.
Which, what is her job? Because
Probably just the front
if
desk.
she's a doctor, she doesn't need to work at that hospital to know how to treat an ear infection.
No.
She went to medical school.
Yeah.
She's going to know how to do it. And if she's a front desk person, does she think that, like, part of her on-the-job training, she's going to learn how to treat ear infections? Because I don't think that's how it works either.
No, like when you're in medical school, you already start working in a hospital.
For sure.
Yeah.
If she is a doctor, she knows how to do that.
Yeah. Yeah, so I don't know.
We had a guy one time who applied, and on his resume, he had worked at a hospital for a couple years. And his description of it was that he can do almost every job task necessary at a hospital. And I really wanted to talk to him, and I hope he was just like, well, I don't do surgery. Like, anything else, I'm your guy, but I can't do surgery. You know,
I'm sure he's going to say that.
They never let me. Yeah, what does that mean? What the fuck was his job at that hospital where he can do almost every single thing at a hospital?
Well, like they say even in this movie,
Like, well, I'm not a doctor.
there are
or
some
a
people
nurse.
that specialize in certain type of surgeries.
I was like the janitor, you know? I could do all that shit, but not all of it.
yeah.
You know, but most of it?
Yeah, most of it, but just not all of it.
Just not all of it.
Yeah.
John here, a fucking ambulance shows up. And he makes everyone get in the other room, and it's a gunshot victim.
Yeah.
And he asks E, he's like, hey, do you know these guys? He's like, yeah, they're cool. And he's like, all right, let's let them in. Just
Fuck
like that. E says they're cool, and he's like, well, let's let this guy in. And he opens the door. He's like, hey, back up. Take your jackets off. He's like, what? And then he shows the gun. They're like, oh. One guy runs away. The other guy sort of stands there. And then John's like, hey, what's wrong with him? The guy just goes, he got shot. And then he, like, closes up the ambulance and he's like, fuck you, man. What's wrong with him? Go fuck yourself.
That's crazy, though, because you're just leaving that dude to
pointing
die.
his gun at me, making him leave.
No, yeah, but you would at least be like, he's shot in the fucking arm, and if you don't do this, he's going to bleed out.
I
don't know.
I don't want to spend more time with the guy with the gun who just made me strip and told me to leave.
Well, I don't know. If he
I
asks
don't want
what's
to
wrong
stick
with
around
him.
more. I would have done what the first guy done. Just got the fuck out of there.
Yeah, just didn't even stay.
I wouldn't have stuck around and, like, closed on, be like, oh, I'm doing my job, man. I'm closing this shit up. If I leave the ambulance door open, my boss is going to have my ass, all right?
Yeah.
I can't be leaving that open.
Yeah. Got to close that while you got a gun in the face.
Got to.
Yeah.
Got to. So John, they bring him in, and he's like, oh, man, this is really bad. Jeez Louise. The guy's like, I gave him all of the money in the register, but they shot me anyway. And he's like, you got to stop talking, all right? You got to stop talking. That's not helping you. That gives us nothing to work with. Just shut up and let us save your life.
I don't care.
He calls James Woods over, and he's like, hey, I'm going to need your help over here, doctor. And he's like, oh, I don't do this. I'm a cardiac surgeon.
I don't give a fuck.
I don't do gunshot. And John goes, what's the matter, doc? Need to see his insurance card first?
Boom.
He's like,
roasted.
He's like, John, this is apples and oranges, all right? I'm a cardiac surgeon. This is a gunshot wound. I can't. It's different type. He's like, it's like riding a bike. Help the man. And and then, like, he knew what to fucking do.
Yeah.
He's like, all right, we need blah, 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 this, and we're going to do this, and we're going to fucking help him. So then John walks out, and Elvis is telling Seth, he's like, man, when I get out of here, I'm suing this hospital and your security company. This is fucking nuts. And then finally, John, like, makes it fucking real for people. He looks at Elvis and goes, what makes you so sure you're getting out of here? Finally, it's acknowledged, hey, I have a gun, and you guys are all stuck here.
Yeah.
So this weird, like, attitude you're all giving me, go fuck yourself with it, all right? I am holding you hostage with a gun. You might die today.
Yeah, it's just Denzel. He just looks like such a respectable guy, you know.
Yeah, he looks nice. You're like, he wouldn't hurt a fly.
He should have came dressed in like Alonzo Harris.
Should have.
Then he really would have got that respect right away.
Yeah. But they should have known he was Alonzo Harris when he said free healthcare for everybody.
Ah,
It would have been, that's classic Alonzo right there.
Now you're
Classic
picking up what I'm
Alonzo.
putting down.
Denzel then hears a helicopter, and he's like, oh, baby.
Now the fun
And
starts.
for editing purposes, we're going to take a quick break, guys. Stick around, because we got plenty more. The fun's just getting started.
Oh, yeah.
And we're back.
Oh, what's up?
FUDJ.
Yeah.
So
Guys.
So it's showtime.
Oh, it's showtime.
Cops are surrounding the place. There's choppers up there. John says, here we go. And then we see the lieutenant. It's Robert fucking Duvall.
Wow.
The dad from Kicking and Screaming. Yeah.
Yeah.
Will Ferrell's dad in Kicking and Screaming. Robert Duvall.
Crazy.
Fucking wild.
Mm-hmm.
SWAT guy gives him a lay of the land. There's a security guard there. The head of security's off today, and so is Rebecca Payne. And Robert Duvall's like, doesn't anyone work at this fucking hospital? And the guy's like, well, Saturday, sir. He's like, so what? People get sick on Saturday, don't they? And the guy's like, I guess they do.
Yep.
They give Robert Duvall a walkie-talkie so he can talk to John. And
Big ass walkie-talkie too. This thing's like 2 feet tall.
oh, it's a big one.
Oh yeah.
Gotta be big. The bigger the better.
Oh.
Security guard tells Robert Duvall that it's people's day off, blah, blah, blah. Back inside, baby's ear's better. Isn't that some shit?
Look at that.
Running back's wife is going back to have the doctor look at her because she's having a baby. Elvis tells John that his fiance might have a broken arm. And John's like, he's like, I'm wondering if someone might take care of her. And John goes, what happened to you? Like, to her. And she's like, oh, there was a driver. And Elvis goes, drunk guy, ran through the intersection, hit us. Fucking bullshit, man. She's like, it was an accident. He goes, it was an accident, exactly. You could tell that is not what happened. That is clear based off of that. Then Robert Duvall wants to speak to the man in charge of the walkie-talkie. He's calling it in. Seth has the walkie-talkie. And he's like, I'm not in charge. So he gives it to John, and he's like, what's your name? And he goes, John. Q.
Q.
He's like, all right, John Q. I want you to call me Frank. He goes, all right, Frank. Robert Duvall makes it clear that he's not fucking around. John tells Frank, he's like, I want you to get Rebecca Payne to add my son to the donor list to get a new heart. And he's like, all right. He's like, oh, you could just, or add my kid. Is your kid, is it a boy or a girl? He goes, he's a boy. He goes, oh, I got some kids myself. I got 2 boys and 2 girls. Johnny's like, hey, don't handle me, Frank. Don't handle me. I do not want to be handled. It insults my intelligence as a human being.
I didn't really. I mean, I kind of get where he's coming from, but at the same time, I was like, yeah, but there could have been a better line for him to react to that.
Just set the tone right away.
Yeah, I get it.
Frank's trying to build some rapport with him, and
But
he's
I feel like-
no, we're not doing this. Stop it.
But I feel like John could almost use that to his benefit, too, to be like, okay, so you see where I'm coming from. Make sure Payne...
John's not thinking 12 steps ahead.
I guess.
John's scared, and he wants his son to get fucking help.
Yeah.
All right,
But that's what I'm thinking,
He's
though.
like, you insult my intelligence as a fucking human being. All right, just stop it.
Yeah.
Stop. You're not gonna make me think, oh, well, me and Frank are gonna be friends after this. No, shut the fuck up. I'll kill everyone in this fucking hospital.
It's usually how this shit goes.
I will kill everyone in this fucking hospital if you don't get my son on the donor list.
Man, can you imagine meeting your best friend like that?
No.
Just holding up a hospital, full of hostages, and this guy is the detective, and you guys become pals after it all.
So Frank says, don't get too excited. He said, the idea is for you to not get too excited, John. And he goes, I'll take it any way I can get it, Frank. Now, if you don't now you know what I want. And if I don't get it, there's going to be some dead bodies on your hand, Frank.
Yeah.
And he's like, all right, John, I'll see what I can do. But before we go any further, you sure you want to go through with this? John's like, yeah. And Frank says, all right, I'll work with you, but we got to have a little faith in each other. He goes, and why's that, Frank? He goes, why's that? I mean, it's because that's what faith is all about, believing in something you don't want to believe in.
Yeah, I wish it was kind of the other way around, because John was the one that was religious,
Yeah, but
I
just
guess.
wanted that faith in him.
Yeah.
It made more sense for Frank to have that line than John Q.
Yeah, I guess. But
John Q doesn't want Frank to have faith in him. He's like, I don't give a fuck. I will kill these people.
I know. I just meant
Not that,
more like
Frank.
the fact that he's like explaining what this shit means when this guy's like supposed to be, really religious.
He's not explaining faith. He's saying, why do we have to have faith in each other?
Yeah,
It's got nothing
like,
to do with religion. I don't fucking trust you, Frank. You would have trusted Frank in this situation? You would have been like, well, the Lord does tell me to trust Frank.
Obviously, Frank is trying to get John to be more likely to listen to what he's telling him to do. But at the same time, to build some type of like rapport with each other, I feel like would also somewhat benefit John. Was my only thing with like this scene. Just seemed like he was super defensive.
Yeah, John just wants his fucking son to
be put on the list.
He's not some criminal mastermind who's thinking like,
I know.
I could use this to my advantage, blah, blah, blah. He's just panicked. He's holding up a hospital out of sheer fear and panic.
Yeah.
He's doing this. He doesn't want his son to die. And he's just like, I'm going to go fucking lock down the hospital and threaten to kill everybody if my son doesn't get a fucking heart.
Yeah.
Let's see what happens.
Well, I just feel like it seems like something that he would do. And then I feel like these things kind of seem almost more out of... And I get what you're saying. Everything's kind of frantic and not well thought of. But it just seemed more like his character would do that than not do that, is my thing. Because he's... obviously, he's forcing the whole show of force. That's not really him. And that's, like, addressed. And I feel like it would make sense for him to try and build relation with Frank, especially about, like, child shit.
Not with Frank.
Yeah, I guess.
The people in there, sure.
Yeah.
Frank is the person who can get him what he wants.
But that's what I'm saying.
Frank needs to think that John is a loose cannon who's going to fucking kill everybody in there if his son isn't on the donor list.
Yeah, I guess
John,
you're right. You gotta be extreme to...
John's not going to convince him that it's the right thing to do to get his son on the donor list. It is... How are you going to explain all these people dying? And then my son dies because you guys didn't get him a heart.
No,
Frank.
yeah. Does make sense.
Dr. Lady kicks the running back out of the room. He's not helping.
Yeah.
Then he goes and he tells John he doesn't care if it's a boy or a girl as long as he's healthy. And then it's like, oh, man, I didn't mean anything by that. And then John just staring at Elvis and he goes, drunk driver, huh? He's like, yeah. He's like, how come you're fine? He goes, what do you call this? And he has like scratches on his arm. And Eddie Griffin's laughing. He's like, oh, man, get this boy a Band-Aid. I don't want him to bleed out in here. He goes, what kind of car you got? He goes, the Mercedes 500, 1986. Fucking classic.
I didn't understand this part, so break it down for me.
Pissed that he did it. And he's like, yeah, my airbag went off, hers didn't. And he goes, an 86 Mercedes 500, right? He's like, yeah. He goes, Mercedes didn't start making passenger side airbags until 1988.
It didn't make any sense.
I've seen this movie a million times. Yeah, her airbag wouldn't go off.
So then she would get more fucked up like she did.
She doesn't have an airbag. I think.
And then he would be lesser because he did have an airbag like this. So, like, it's not that they're wrong. It's the reasoning as to the writing in the script is contradictory. You know what I'm saying? Like,
oh, for sure.
It didn't.
For sure.
That's why when I was like, did I hear that right?
Yeah, no. It's her airbag didn't go off and she didn't have an airbag, so it wouldn't have gone off.
But then that proves as to why. Yeah.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
For sure. But also, they can make the argument of John made that up.
No, totally.
Maybe Mercedes did, and they just knew he was lying and wanted to see how he'd react to that.
Yeah.
Eddie Griffin goes, oh, shit, busted. You like to beat on that young girl. You from the Slap-a-Hoe tribe, and everybody here knows it. Eddie Griffin is the best part of this movie.
He really is.
I thought Jimmy was, but it is Eddie Griffin.
He's great.
Then Elvis goes, I was drunk, all right? And then, like, sits back.
He just plays.
And then tries to smoke a cigarette, and John's like, you can't fucking smoke that in here. He's like, come on, man, work with me. He goes, I'm fucking trying to work with you, man. I'm trying. You can't smoke in here.
He does the best representation of someone being a piece of shit acting as a victim.
100%.
You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, he does. Everything is him being a fucking victim and pity him.
People want water and to go to the bathroom, and Eddie Griffin has missed meal cramps and he wants a bucket of chicken or something.
and Denzel is like, I'm working on
He's
it.
like, I'll figure something
Yeah.
out. Okay, we'll get some food. James Woods did the fuck out of that surgery, and the guy's getting alive. He is talking James Woods up. He's like,
Yeah.
save that motherfucker's life, James Woods. No motherfucker can do surgery like you.
Yeah.
Nobody can.
He's got blood all over him and
It's
shit.
fucking great. We then go to the sick son, and mom's asking the nurse what everything is there again, because she loves that. They were kind of trying to build that will they, won't they tension that I talked about.
Yeah.
She's, oh, man, your job's so interesting. Mikey says, I don't feel so good. You're like, oh, buddy.
Oh.
Come on. This is breaking my heart. I don't feel so good.
Oh.
You're like, oh, Mikey, I'm sure you don't. I'm sorry, bud. The nurse says, I'm giving you something that's going to make you feel yucky for a few minutes, but I'm going to get you some of those crunchy ice chips you like so much. And then he pulls out like an action figure. It looks like, I'm guessing it's supposed to be Ronnie Coleman. It's a black shredded action figure.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, this guy showed up here, and he's asked if it was okay to stick around. I wasn't sure. And he smiles. He's like, yeah, it's okay. He can stay. And then, like, he takes the action figure. Like, this guy's great.
Yeah.
This guy's great. Mikey's fucking adorable. Exorcist girl is fucking dead.
She is dead.
And her mom is not taking the death in stride.
Not taking it at all.
No! Let me hold my baby! Let me hold my baby!
And then
And
all of a
like,
sudden,
you're like, come on, lady, take it easy.
yeah, you're like, take it easy. But then all of a sudden, the fucking dead body pops up and then it starts speaking in devil tongues. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And you're like, holy shit, dude.
Yeah, this movie takes a real turn.
Yeah, the priest comes in trying to fucking. He takes the cross and like puts it on her, and she's screaming, burning. There's fucking smoke coming from her forehead. It was.
She makes the family hold her down so he can fuck the demon out
and
of
then
her.
a fucking snake drops down out of nowhere on the fucking mom or something. Remember that? Yeah.
Yeah, he makes them hold her down so he can fuck the demon out of her.
Yeah, that was a better part. Yeah.
That was, yeah.
Yeah.
And you
I almost missed it.
you jumped in yelling that a snake fell out.
I'm saying, because remember how ridiculous
let me up the stakes. There's a snake now.
remember how ridiculous it was? They're like
Yeah,
mid-Exorcist.
it's a nonsense movie. It's
Yeah.
fucking nonsense. None of that happened. Just the girl's dead.
Yeah.
And Mikey then asks, oh, my God. Hey, Mom, is Dad coming? Oh, man. And she's like, yeah, baby, he's coming. Coming soon.
Yeah.
And then we're back at the hostages. John's paying for shit out of the vending machine.
Yeah, it's
He's like putting quarters in the machine to get stuff out. Why would he not break the vending machine open?
at this point, like,
he doing?
your
He's-
charge for going to jail is not going to be any worse than everything you've already done.
He's like, those vending companies, they spend a lot of money.
They spend a lot of money.
They're hardworking people.
You know what? Yep.
Here we go.
Yeah.
Put some quarters in.
Yeah.
So he does that. Elvis is making a weapon and talking banana shit to Seth, but he's a fat loser.
Well, and then Seth's added in. He's like, yeah, I fucking hate them N-words.
No, Seth. He goes, you did nothing when that guy showed up. He's like, did nothing. I'm unarmed. He pointed a gun in my face. I make $8.50 an hour.
Yeah.
Leave me the fuck alone, dude.
Yeah.
Elvis says they don't give a fuck about his kid. And once he realizes that, we're all fucking corpses. All right?
This conversation is ridiculous. It's like, why is he telling this to Seth?
Yeah. I mean, he's letting Seth know this is what's happening, right?
Yeah.
John is going to kill all of us.
But I'm going to
He's
try
like-
to kill him first.
Yeah, he was hoping Seth will help him.
Yeah.
And Seth's like, dude, leave me out of this.
Yeah.
Man. All right?
Come on.
Ray Liotta pulls up outside, and the crowd acts how you would if Ray Liotta pulled up.
Oh, yeah.
They go wild.
Crazy.
He's got, like, stars and shit. He's the police chief, and he looks like a military hero.
Yeah.
That's what he's wearing. I don't know if police chiefs wear that or not, but that is what he was dressed like.
And
Like
immediately,
a 4-star general.
Immediately, everyone wants to get a piece of this guy.
You want a piece, huh?
Yeah?
You want a piece?
Yeah.
He talks to the press real quick, and then he gives Frank a hard time
Oh, yeah.
about just sucking. He's like, fucking...
Not anymore, you're
He's
not.
like, yeah, he's like, you're fucking, you better not. He's like, hey, I'll just observe, all right? And make sure you don't fuck this up. And then he's like, gotta take this. He's like, hello, Mr. Mayor. And then walks off. And then, like, for like half a second, he's on the phone with the mail, and he's like, all right, let me go. Then hangs up because he's around all the boys. And he goes, hey, the old man over there is looking for his Depends. You guys find him? And everyone's like, ah!
And then,
Get the fuck out of here! That is great.
and they look back over to Frank,
Hey, you're fucking old.
and he kind of just like he's got his hands in his pocket, kind of like kicks the dirt. And it's just
But you know what? Who's laughing now?
yeah, because
Robert Duvall's still alive.
yeah.
All right.
Where-
Who's laughing now, Ray Liotta? Everybody's snacking inside. John's
Snacking so hard.
talking about how he just doesn't get how they never found out about his son. And James Woods is like, might not have been an issue until now, blah, blah. And he's like, that's bullshit. And he starts yelling about HMOs, and HMOs pay doctors and give them bonuses to keep costs down.
Yeah, and then
And James Woods is like, I don't know if that's exactly true. And then Eddie Griffin's like, I don't know if you're trying to call him Kevin. You need to knock that shit off right now. He's E. Eddie Griffin's like, man, don't take it personally, but y'all a bunch of motherfucking crooks, all right? What's that? And the chick is like, what's that oath that you take? And someone's like, the Hippocratic Oath. And he's like, yeah.
more like
We-
the hypocritical oath.
How's it go again, doctor? We blah, 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 blah.
Yeah,
I solemnly swear to take care of the sick, damn near dying, unless they ain't got major medical. James Woods like, yeah, no, you nailed it. It's exactly what it is. And he goes, yeah, it's funny, but it's not that far from the truth, all right? And then he kind of goes nuts for a minute,
Yeah.
screaming at James Woods about HMOs. And James Woods finally is like, all right, this is crazy. You guys want me to be the bad guy? That's fine.
yeah. He stands up. He's like, oh, whatever.
I'll be the bad guy.
Yeah.
Who has a fucking gun here and is not letting any of us leave, all right?
Did you all forget about that?
Did you forget why we're all in this room together?
I have saved lives, like he said, 300 a year.
I just saved that guy's life.
Yeah.
You guys are making me seem like the asshole?
Yeah.
Fuck you. Phone ring. Or no, John tries to make a phone call. And it gets fucking patched through to Robert Duvall. And he's like, hey, John, we clip the lines. Anytime you try to make a call, you're going to talk to me. What do you need? And he's like, where we at, Frank? And he goes, yeah, I'm working on it. And Frank hasn't gotten his son on the list yet. And then he asks about the hostage. He's like, we're fine. We're eating candy bars and discussing HMOs. Waiting on you. He goes, all right. Frank sees John on the camera now. Like where he's talking on the phone. They're like, okay, we know where he is in the hospital right now. Let's pull it up on the camera. And they like zoom in because they're trying to figure out who the fuck John is.
Yeah.
They just know he's an angry guy. He said his name's John Q. And he wants his son on the donor list. They're like, it's nuts.
Yeah.
So he sees him there, and the lady doctor comes up. Frank wants some hostages let out. And John's like, why don't you go fuck yourself? And then the lady doctor comes up and she's like, hey, the running back's wife needs to go to the maternity ward.
Yeah.
We're not equipped to deliver a fucking baby here. She cannot be here. And then he thinks for a second. He goes, all right, you know what, Frank? I changed my mind. I'm going to let some of the hostages go. But
I need my son on the donors list in 1 hour. All right? It's 4:30,
nope.
4:15,
Yep.
and he better be on there by 5:15 or I'm going to kill someone.
At 5:15, either my son's on the list or somebody's going to die. 5:15, Frank. 5:15, something happens for me.
Yeah, and now I'm like, oh, damn, that Alonzo shit, bro.
Ray Liotta is not happy.
Yeah.
Ray Liotta's like, this isn't good, Frank. This isn't good. Also, Rebecca Payne ran up during this, and literally the first thing she says to them is, what the hell's going on? Like, she's annoyed with them. Like,
Yeah.
why don't you have this under control? And they zoom in on him, and like, do you know who this is? And she goes, it's John Archibald. He's got a son in the ICU.
So
Like,
now
well,
everything
they're like,
is...
well, he's holding everybody at gunpoint in there.
So
'Cause-
everything is discovered, and we know that they know, and now it's like, oh, no.
Oh, yeah. Business going to pick up.
Yeah.
John is letting the pregnant lady and the Spanish lady with the baby out. Pregnant lady is like, hey, can my husband please come with me? And the husband's like, no, come on, don't worry about me. I got to get you out of here. And Elvis goes, shit, I'll take his space. I'm free. And he goes, man, what kind of man are you? He's like, I'm more of a man than you, Tyrone. And he goes, Tyrone, what'd you just say? And like they get in each other's faces, and John goes to break it up. And then Elvis sprays him. in the face with something, and he's got like a
I don't even know what the
something sharp, and he stabs him in the arm.
Yeah.
Gets in his face, and he says, "Who's sucking whose cock now?" And John headbutts him twice, and the gun goes flying.
Well, then he looks to Seth and he says, "Hand me the bitch." Then Seth hands him the bitch. No.
Come on, one movie. You can't you referencing the bitch too much. It's a different gun. If he had a small shotgun and you were calling it the bitch this much, I'd be all for it.
Any gun's the bitch.
It's
David.
not. It's not. And I just had a great Alpha Dog reference. You can't force your second Training Day reference the same reference.
It's a good place.
It's not.
Oh.
It's not.
All right, what'd you have?
Ruining this scene. I already did. I did my reference, and then I was going through what really happened in the scene. You do one joke per like little scene, and then you gotta get through what actually happens. He doesn't ask for the bitch. Elvis didn't really say who's sucking whose cock now.
Oh, he didn't?
No, he didn't. He headbutts him twice. Gun's on the ground. Elvis is like, "Baby, get the gun. Get the gun, baby." And then she goes, and she doesn't get the gun. She picks up the mace that Elvis had. He's like, "What are you doing, baby? Get the gun and shoot him in his black fucking face." And then she sprays Elvis in the eyes, and he's like, "Ah, what are you doing?" And she starts kicking him. And she's like, "This is for fucking hitting me. This is for calling me a bitch." And she like spreads his legs, kicks him in the balls. Everyone's laughing.
Yeah.
Eddie Griffin more than anyone else. Eddie Griffin fucking loves it.
That part, though, is a little forced.
And she takes off a blonde wig. And she's like, "I'm not your fucking Barbie doll anymore." And Eddie Griffin's like, "Man, look at her with that body. I knew she wasn't a blonde."
Yeah, he's got a boner, too. Just a stiffy. It's pointing straight out.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Who didn't? All right? Who didn't? John cuffs Elvis to like a radiator on the wall. So he cuffs him, and then he goes and he waves a white flag. He's like, "Don't shoot. Letting some hostages out. Don't shoot." And he lets the running back leave with his pregnant wife.
Yeah.
Pushes her out.
And then also the Mexican woman with the baby.
The baby. They leave. They talk to the press as they're leaving.
And the entire time they're like, "He's a good man."
She so the husband and wife, they said, "Oh, there's a guy who came in, who's losing a lot of blood. John let him come in. He got surgery. Saved the man's life. He would have died." I'm like, "Oh shit." They asked the Spanish lady. She go, "John Q, good man, John Q. He godfather to this baby, and he come to my niña's quinceañera." And they said, "Oh, that's fantastic."
Well, I feel like they could have touched on that a little bit more, but
The quinceañera?
no.
I agree. I think every movie should have at least one quinceañera.
Yeah.
Fucking 15th birthday. What a mess those people are. They celebrate the 15th birthday.
Pinatas go everywhere. It's such a mess.
So we're regrouping. The news guy from earlier, Lampley, I believe his name was.
Lampley.
I refer to him as news guy because I forgot, but now,
Something
now
like
that I'm
that.
saying it, I think. But news guy from earlier, he's got some hotshot assistant named Freddie, and he's like, "Freddie, look at that over there. They got a camera in there." He's like, "How'd they get a camera?" He's like, "I don't know. Can you get it?" He's like, "Boss, if they got it, I can get it." All right, you don't even got to fuck. If there's a camera on this planet, I will get access to that camera, boss. You don't got to worry about that. So, all right, he's working on it. Rebecca Payne is telling Ray Liotta and Frank and the head SWAT guy that John Q isn't the only person with a sick child, all right? People get sick. People die. That's the way it is.
There's 40 million Americans
who don't have help. No, not yet.
Oh, okay.
Ray Liotta blames her. Ray Liotta is like, if you were just giving this kid a new fucking heart, we'd be in this mess. Like, that's wild, Ray Liotta.
Spitting facts.
And she says there's 40 million Americans who don't have health insurance. If you have an issue with it, I suggest you call your congressman.
Which is true.
It's not. She's not the root of all of this.
Yeah.
She's the messenger, and she's not awesome about the way she does it.
Yeah, she's a piece of shit for the way she does it.
But because I've made her she
Well,
didn't really say she'd make 30 go away if she could kill the kid. But she's not much less of a monster than I've made her out to be.
Well, and the thing is with the writing is they make it out to where she is the main person in power. Like, yeah, she's just like, they don't make it as if there's other people
head of the
above her.
hospital.
That's what I'm saying. They don't make
Yeah.
it as if there's other people above her.
SWAT guy then turns out to be the worst motherfucker on the planet. He's just like, why don't we just tell him his kid's on the list, huh? I've seen it 1,000 times, all right? Here's the thing. We've done this a million times, all right? It's the old okie doke. We say we're on the list. What, you don't want to do it?
Yeah.
You want to do the okie doke? Fucking give me the walkie-talkie. I'll tell him his kid's on the list.
Yeah.
I don't care. I want to go home.
Yeah,
all right?
but
tell
you're
him the
good.
kid's on the list, then let the kid die. I don't give a fuck about that kid.
Just let the kid die, and then once when he comes out, we'll just shoot him in the fucking face.
Boom.
Done.
Head of security shows up and he points out there's a phone that he's like, if you can lure, points out to Ray Liotta and SWAT guy. He's like, if we can lure
I
John
hated the way they did that,
to
though.
answer this phone, we could fucking get in through the...
The reason why I hated it is because they made it way too simple. So the guy goes, circles a little red, which is where the phone is, draws a straight line, like 3 feet, circles another red, and he's like, yeah, so it's just got to go right there, and it's just a straight line shot. Just easy peasy.
Easy peasy.
Yeah.
We planned for this, all right?
But the way
we
he
have planned this out.
But he's got
Call
like
that phone.
he's got like a fucking blueprint though of like the building itself to like I don't know. I'm just like, this is too much to like. You just be like, see this window right there? Straight inside, there's a straight shot to the phone.
All right, guys, we got to take a quick break for editing purposes, but don't go anywhere because we're going to be right back.
Oh yeah.
And we're back.
Hashtag fudge.
FUDJ. So, back inside, Elvis won't shut the fuck up about guns and how it's not safe to go anywhere. James Woods agrees with him,
Yeah.
which is great. Elvis then asks John, he's like, what makes your son more important than me, huh? I got a life. You should kill me because your son can't get a heart? That's fucked up. And John says, he's like, so what you going to do, John? How's this play out? And he's like, I don't know how it plays out. I'm waiting on a miracle, all right? Waiting on a fucking miracle.
Mm-hmm.
Then we see the Peterbilt and the Mack truck do the old 2-for-1 in the opening scene
Oh yeah.
of the movie.
Little
We now cut
flashback.
to we cut to Robert Duvall and Rebecca Payne are going to see John's wife in the hospital with Mikey. And they talk to her, and she blames herself because she's like, I told him to do something. I yelled at him and told him, do something, John. Our kid's going to die unless you do something.
And I do have to point out, she knocks it out the park in this film.
She's so great.
Yeah, acting.
She's so great.
She carried it when it came to the weight of her child. You know what I'm saying? Like, she totally helped build that for us, the audience. You know,
100%. Robert Duvall starts trying to get her to like give him information about John. She shuts it the fuck down. She's like, hey, no matter what, I'm on his side.
Yeah.
Like, you're not going to come here and convince me to give you stuff you could use against John.
and then Payne tries to say something. She says, "Shut the fuck up."
She shuts Payne the fuck down.
Oh, so quick.
And she said, I would tell you what I think of you, but I am a Christian woman.
And
Now the two of you, please leave. I have a sick child to attend to.
And that hits harder than saying fuck you. I'm a Christian woman, so I can't even tell you what I think of you.
And then Rebecca Payne does something here about as smugly as she could have done it.
Oh, totally.
She's like, oh yeah, is that how you feel? I put Mikey on the list. The hospital's paying for everything.
And
But
so
like as much of a like, fuck you, bitch, talking to me like that.
Well, and then it gets-
you can't even afford surgery.
yeah, but then it gets like almost worse because she turns around and she's crying. She's like, "Oh my god,
Sobbing,
thank you so much."
hugging her,
And
and
you- yeah.
her and Duvall like smirk at each other.
Yeah,
It's fucking wild.
and then we cut,
They exchange smirks.
and then we cut
Like,
to them
yeah,
walking out.
Yeah, we're helping this kid. Psh.
And and Robert Duvall's like, "Good job selling that.
You are good. You
fucking
almost
piece
had
of
me.
shit."
Here's the thing, though. He's like, you almost had me going there. And she's like, what do you mean? He's like, I thought you were really gonna help that kid. And then she like looks disgusted and walks off. Robert Duvall keeps smiling and stares at her ass as she walks off.
That was a weird.
Hey, it's just RD doing what RD does.
I think she's trying to cover her tracks. Though I think she's so much of a piece of shit that she's like, oh, he's also a piece of shit, and sees that I'm a piece of shit. I'm gonna cover my tracks.
So you think I'm happy about what we just did? Fuck you. And
But
walks
she's
off.
actually super happy. So the moment she walks off, she's like, yippee!
She went and rubbed one out to the thought of the heart,
Oh, yeah.
of the heartbreak they'll have when they find out he's not on the list.
Oh, they're gonna be so fucking sad.
News guy interviews Jimmy, and Jimmy doesn't disappoint. He goes wild about the division of wealth in the country. And
Oh, I mean, this man is like crying on fucking cue for his dog. Not like his actual dog.
I thought that was a reference to something, and I was like, crying on cue for his dog. No, I don't have it. Yeah, he's like crying, and he's like, it seems to me that something is out of whack, not someone, but what do I know? I'm a factory worker.
And everyone's like bobbing their head like, yeah.
News guy is like, is there anything you want to say to John? He's like, just, I'm there with him. And take care, brother.
I'm like, oh my God, man. I just hope that one day, if I'm ever in that same position, David would say the same thing.
No. I'd be like, Braden was always a dangerous dude. I kind of, this doesn't surprise me too much, honestly. Like, I wish I would have done something about it, but, like, he's always just been kind of a loose cannon, dangerous, and talking about how he wants to hurt people.
Honestly, I
Talking
just
about
feel bad for the kid.
Taught himself how to. I just feel bad for his kid. He's not going to get the help he needs. Braden doing this. It's sad. Back to you guys. We see the crash site, and it's not looking so great. SWAT guy then aggressively tells Robert Duvall, aggressively tells him that they're taking John Q out. He goes fucking lights out. All right, Frank. Frank then finds Ray Liotta in like a parking garage and is like, "Hey, Ray Liotta, what are you doing? What are you doing?" And he tells him, and Ray Liotta's like, "Hey, no, fuck you, all right? I'm doing this because I have to. All right, you let all this fucking bullshit go on for too long. We're getting the shot. I'm taking it. What are we even talking about here?
Yeah.
If you get the clear shot, you take the shot. What
Yeah.
the fuck's going on?"
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, "What? Blah, blah, blah." And he's like, "It's an election year, all right? I can't have any dead hostages on me. I can kill one bad guy. Can't have one dead fucking hostage in there." And then he kind of contradicts himself because Frank goes, "Well, what about the hostage? Like, we're going in to take him out." And he goes, "What about the hostages?" Really, he goes, "They better duck." And keeps walking.
Yeah, so a
like,
huge
yeah.
contradiction.
Can't have anyone die, but fuck those little bitches.
And it's all about the way that he is being perceived to the public, and basically that area views him as like their fucking Lord and Savior.
He's the guy.
Yeah.
He's the
Ray
fucking
Liotta.
man.
Yeah,
He's the police chief.
everyone loves him.
Standing ovation everywhere he goes.
Mm-hmm.
They shut off the AC to the hospital. And who's the first person to notice?
Seth.
Fucking fat ass Seth goes, "Oh, great. The AC just went out."
Yeah, they noticed.
Had
quick.
to be the fat guy.
Yeah.
News guy is kissing a chick in the front row, and then he goes to Freddie and he's like, "Hey,
Yeah.
contact in cardiology told me that they're setting up a call between the wife and John Q."
Well, it was totally unnecessary because I'm like, I know the guy's good looking. I know he could get pussy. I don't
Yeah.
need that.
We need to know because she was wearing like scrubs. She was clearly a doctor.
Yeah.
So we needed to know if he for sure had a contact in cardiology.
That
And
was the
her.
reason.
She was the contact.
That makes sense. That makes
Still
sense.
ridiculous.
Yeah, but he like runs back to the van.
Freddie's like, "Boss, I've almost got it." It's like, "Don't even fucking worry about it. All right, I'm gonna get this. Shit's gonna be sick."
Like,
John is fucking leaning back, not saying a fucking word, and just flipping the safety on and off on the gun. Everyone is nervous as fuck. Like, he hasn't been super aggressive to the people in there. This is a bananas scare tactic thing he's doing here.
and it just
I don't think
shows
he's doing it
unease.
intentionally.
No, yeah, and it's just
Yeah.
showing how uneasy he is, and everyone's kind of picking that
He's
up.
just
Like,
sitting back, flip.
he's kind of like an estranged kind of guy because, everyone else doesn't truly know how he feels, which is probably offsetting. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because it's hard to get a read on John.
Safety's on, safety's off, safety's on. Like, he's fucking nervous. The clock's ticking. He said 5:15. Something happens for him.
And he seems like he's a nice guy, but he's got shit to lose, so he's gonna do anything. I don't know what to think.
Phone then rings. Takes him a minute to find the right phone. It's the setup phone.
Mm-hmm.
And he answers and said, "This better be good, Frank."
In the moment he answered, I thought, "Oh shit, they're gonna shoot him." I thought it was like.
No,
Gotta be
They need
fast.
him to be distracted on the phone.
Mm-hmm.
He goes, "This better be good, Frank." And it's his wife. And she says, "Mikey's on the list, baby. You did it. You did it." Like, it's such a great, like, they're both crying and they're so happy. And then he's like, Can I talk to him?
Oh, which it gets even worse because they even said before,
Let me touch-
you're going to use his wife to set him up.
Absolutely.
And now it's like they're using his dying son
Freddie-
to set him up.
Freddie got the audio up. He's working on the picture. And the news guy's like, "Come on, man. Like, Freddie, we got to get pictures." He's like,
And then he
"Boss-
says, "Third boss, what button do I press again?"
Nah, fuck you.
What?
Fuck you. Freddie is a fucking genius hotshot, all right? You
is.
can't, just because he calls him boss, you can't make him the idiot from that South
'cause
Park
he-
episode.
yeah, 'cause he
He's
prob-
fucking great. He goes, "Boss, I'm about to make you so fucking famous, man." And like, he's figuring it out. He's like, "It's going to be awesome." Dude, he's like, "Shut up, all
Just
right?
fucking get ready.
Get the fuck away from me. I got this." And the audio's playing on the news, but we don't have the video yet. She says Mikey's getting worse.
But everyone's hearing this sad conversation.
Yeah, it's on the news. It's the audio.
Yeah.
He's like, "I think he's going away." And he tells her, he's like, "Mikey's going to make it. I promise you." Gets her on, gets him on the phone, and Freddie gets the audio streaming on the news. That starts happening. John and Mikey are talking, and it's fucking beautiful. Mikey's like, "How come you're not here?" And he's like, I'm tied up right now, buddy. I can't get away, but I'm close, all right? I'm close, I promise." He goes, "Okay." He goes, "Mom says I need a new heart." "What's wrong with my heart, Dad?" And you're like, "Oh, man, dude." Guys, this movie sucked to take notes for. Because I'm legitimately getting choked up at these scenes. These are so fucking sad and beautiful. This is such... Guys, fuck you if you're at this point and you haven't seen this movie. This movie is fantastic. You need to go watch it. Me fucking making a mockery of it does not do it justice. He's like, "What's wrong with my heart, Dad?" And he's like, "Oh, man." He's like, Nothing's wrong with your heart, buddy. They're just getting you a new one. Make you stronger is all." He goes, Okay. And the news guy calls it. He's like, "This is my white Bronco. This is fucking
Yeah,
perfect.
he calls it my white Bronco.
This is fucking perfect."
Eh.
John says, he's like, "Dad." Mikey says, "Dad, am I going to die?" He goes, "No, you're not going to die." He's
No,
like,
no.
He's like, "How do you know?" And he's like, "Come on, what? How? What? How would the world be any? What good would the world be without you, Mikey? All right, you won't die." And like they're crying. It's so fucking insane. It is nuts. I lost my place. This is a terrible time for me to lose my place.
David, make sure that
No,
when
no, just
if
get
I'm
you a
ever
new
on my
one.
deathbed, that this is the type of shit you say to me. Okay, I want to be reassured that
I'd
the
be-
world is a worse place.
I'd be like, "You gotta let go, man. Just let go."
no, but
Everything-
David, I want to
everything will be
live.
fine. He's like, "Listen to me." And then we see SWAT guy coming out of the ceiling, aimed at John, and then John like kind of goes around the corner and he loses the shot, so he waits and he tells Mikey he loves him and he's proud of him, and he just wanted to tell him in case he forgets.
And then we
And you're
come
like,
to
"Oh,
see.
man.
We come to find out that the SWAT dude leaning through the ceiling is actually Colin Farrell from SWAT.
Nope,
No?
it's Jeremy Renner."
Oh yeah, it was Jeremy Renner.
Yeah.
That's right. Yeah, Jeremy Renner. Yeah, exactly. Because he was kind of a little hot on the block.
So SWAT guy gets the order to shoot, but he doesn't because John's around the corner. Then see Rebecca Payne. She's watching this on the news. We see her crying. Everyone's fucking crying watching this. John tells Mikey to give him one of those Chris Cormiers. And he flexes as he says it. "Give me one of those Chris Cormiers, Mikey." And he goes, "Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
Chris Cormier.
Fucking swole as
He's-
shit.
He's great." John says, "He's great, and so are you, baby." And he goes, and Mikey says, "I love you." And then John like gets choked And he's like, yeah, with all my heart, I love you. And then Eddie Griffin, I don't know what he thought he was watching. Because now he notices that John's on TV. He doesn't notice the gunman. He just goes, oh, shit! John, you're on TV! Shit! And then John, steps up. The call's over. He hung up.
Yeah.
John, steps up and waves. And then John sees the guy. And then he turns around and he gets shot. And he goes down to the ground. And they're like, oh, shot. He's down. And then,
good job!
And then the SWAT guy, loses his positioning and drops his gun and falls. And then Denzel stands up and walks over. They're like, he is not down. And we see him. And they do it perfectly. Because we see it from the security camera vantage point.
Yeah.
Which is the best way to do it.
Oh, for sure.
He fucking pulls the guy out of the ceiling and just starts beating the fuck out of him.
Yeah, and gets some good hits on him.
Oh, he fucks him up.
Fucks him up nice. There's a mosquito flying right in
Frank
front.
tells Ray Liotta that this is not good. And then the mayor calls because the mayor just watched this shit on TV. And he's like, what the hell just happened?
And now Ray Liotta's like, I need some fucking help.
We see an airlift happening. From the crash site. Eddie Griffin is now duct taping the SWAT guy to a chair
Nice.
while James Woods and E take care of John, which
Yeah.
I love. It's great. They are on board. Eddie Griffin is helping restrain the police officer.
Fuck yeah!
Who just tried to kill John, while the medical staff is tending to John's bullet wound.
I'll do anything for Denzel.
It is so great.
Yeah.
The police.
There's also a crowd building around the police.
Oh,
and everyone's getting really behind Denzel.
everyone is on John's side.
Yeah.
I mean, we just saw him and his fucking beautiful family have that
And
amazing moment. He's getting a new heart.
And then the government tries to kill him?
Yeah.
Yeah!
Fucking wild.
Crazy.
John brings the tied up SWAT guy to the door. And the crowd goes fucking nuts.
Yeah.
The crowd's like, yeah. John's like, where's Frank Grimes? I want to talk to Frank Grimes. And Ray Liotta tells Frank, he's like, hey, come on. You just saved my ass. He's like, come on, I'll buy you a steak.
All right.
And no, he doesn't. He doesn't say all right. He says, Peking duck.
Yeah.
I want a Peking duck. You ever had that?
No.
It's like a whole duck, and it's greasy and it's amazing.
I've had duck before, but I don't think it was the full duck like that.
Nah, Peking duck, it's a very specific thing.
Mm.
I had no idea. When I was in New York, someone told me, you got to go to Chinatown, go to just a fucking hole-in-the-wall Chinese place and order it. And I did that by myself. And I had no idea how much food was involved in that. It's like
a whole duck.
The guy was like, okay. And it was like fucking, it was like $50.
Yeah.
And it was like the size of the thing that your laptop's on.
Yeah.
It was like that. And I was like,
That's a whole duck.
I'm not eating all of this, and I'm not keeping leftovers. So we'll see how this plays out.
How was it?
It was incredible.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, it was incredible. I also went to Blackbird in Jupiter with Brian Pearson after he recorded with us.
Oh.
We went there, and when we got there, there was like a family thing, and his mom was like, "Oh, David's dropping you off. We have an extra seat. Have David come in." I was like, "Fuck yeah, let's do this!"
Woo!
And went in there, and people on different ends of the table had ordered Peking ducks that they were sharing. And I saw it on the menu, and it was $100 and something, and I knew I wasn't paying, and nobody offered me any, so I did not feel comfortable eating any. I had some apps that were all great, and then I had a steak lo mein. Fucking this place, Blackbird up in Jupiter. It's fantastic.
Gonna have to take someone there.
It is fantastic. You mean like a chick?
Yeah.
Like a chick, and then give you the old, yeah, in the butt. In the butt. You buy her Blackbird. You get to go in the butt that night.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the whole time I'm like, yeah, you like that duck?
Yeah, you like it in the butt. Yeah.
Yeah.
So Rebecca Payne is on the phone, and she's spelling out Archibald, which is John's last name. and says she's faxing over the stuff now. That's all we know. John pulls the job, so Frank, Ray Liotta, and Black SWAT Boss all come up.
Yeah.
So they're like 20 feet away.
Yeah.
But they come up there, and John pulls the SWAT guy out, stands behind him as like a human shield.
And he is so beat the fuck up.
It's so great, but also pulled his pants down.
Yeah. Yeah, and his pants are like by his
part
ankles.
that they pulled his pants down to
Well,
bring him out
everyone's
there.
so hyped too.
they're all like, yeah, oh, his fucking pants are down.
It's like it's a WWE moment or
It's
something.
fucking great.
Yeah.
And John, the crowd's going nuts, and John tells Frank, he's like, you lied to me, Frank. You lied to me because you want me dead. And Frank's like, nobody wants you dead.
And he's like, oh, yeah?
Well, then what's this? He tosses the rifle at them. Here's my one issue with this. He's talking and pointing at them, holding the gun way too much to where...
He'd be shot.
Yeah, no, but they would be like, well, we're not losing our lieutenant and our chief of police. We'll lose the SWAT guy.
Yeah.
He's dead already.
Well, and SWAT guy knows
Shooting
if
at
he
them.
ever ends up in this predicament.
SWAT guy's like looking. He's like, dude, you gotta stop. They're boom.
Oh my god! Oh my
He's,
god! Oh
like,
my god!
panicked. He's
Yeah.
like, dude,
He's like,
put
they're
the
gonna
fucking
shoot.
gun.
I know they're gonna shoot.
Like, point the fucking gun. This is bad, dude.
But his fucking mouth is duct taped, I think, too. So he's like,
I don't think it's duct tape. I think he just knows not to talk.
okay.
John made it clear. He's like, you say a fucking word out there, I will stick this gun in your mouth and pull the trigger.
I am Denzel in your bitch ass.
So Frank's like, fine, you want some truth? There's only two ways you get out of here, John. In the jail or in the ground.
You fucking dead.
You pick.
You fucking dead.
You fucking pick. And John, he's like, now, John says, my son is very sick and he needs help. Frank's like, he's screaming and stuff. Frank's like, you got to calm down. John's like, you're not hearing me, Frank. My son is, hold on, because I got to get this right. Cause it's so fucking great. You're not hearing me, Frank. My son is sick. That's it. There's nothing else. End of story. When people are sick, they deserve a little help. The crowd's cheering him on. They're like, yeah. He goes,
Yeah.
Sick help. Sick help. I am not going to bury my son. My son is going to bury me. You're like, fuck, dude.
And even some of the people that are, like,
Crowd's
supposed to be-
like, fuck yeah.
but not even just the crowd, like some of the people that are supposed to be on, like, the cop side.
cops are like, fuck.
Yeah, fuck.
That makes sense.
I probably do that too.
Yeah. So Frank's like, so what's it going to be? John says, I want my son in here with me. You give me my son, and I'll give you your sniper. Then it's all over.
And the whole time, the owners of the actual hospital are just at home eating chicken wings, laughing their asses off.
They're like, this is nuts.
Crazy.
Frank's like, all right, let's bring his fucking son. I don't care.
Yeah.
Bring him a dying kid. Great. They do a prisoner exchange. And the cops bring Mikey to the door, and he shoos him away. He comes out, he's like, come on, get out of here.
Yeah,
Get out of
like
here.
a towel.
Scram.
Well,
Then they
what's-
help Mikey in, and then they shove the SWAT guy out.
This is the most ridiculous and fucking best part about this scene. Is as they're strolling in the kid, mom's trying to come in, and they're like, no, he didn't say you.
No, you fucking stay out. She's like, I gotta go in there. Like, you're not gonna do shit.
Your husband did not ask for you.
He said, son for sniper. Mano y mano. That's it.
That's it. You're not on the list, lady.
So they shove the dude out to just a chorus of boos.
Yeah.
The crowd hates this guy.
Yeah.
Because they watched him try to kill the sad dad.
Oh, yeah.
Who's just telling his son he loves him.
You try to
fucking
take him
nuts.
out?
Fuck this guy. James Woods. Oh my god. He tells John that Mikey's really bad. He needs a heart sooner. He's gonna die. And then John says,
His like blood pressure is dropping below 40, I think, at this point, or something he might have said.
I don't know. But John says, all right, take mine. And you're like,
What?
what? And Eddie Griffin has the line, he goes, but John, then you'd be dead. He's like, I know. Lady Doctor's like, John, you can't do that. And he's like, of course I can. She's like, no, physically you can't do that. He's like, yeah, I can. I kill myself.
Yeah, like
and you put my heart inside my son.
I really didn't like actually this back and forth between the characters. I actually didn't like the writing for this because 3 different characters all said exactly the same exact shit.
They're all, I don't mind it. They are all shocked that he's trying to do this, and they're like, no, we're not doing this.
No, yeah, but like it was a little bit repetitive and kind of dumb for some of the shit that they were saying, like how you just said, like, no, but you'd be dead. He's like, no fucking duh, dude.
So
like,
she
but they said that a couple times, bro.
She says physically, he says that, and then she's like, no, I'm saying like tissue issues, blah, blah, blah. And James Woods like, yeah, it would have to be exactly right for you to do it, John. He's like, we've been tested out the wazoo, all right? His heart's 3 times the size of a normal one. We know it's going to fit on my blood matches, my tissue match.
No, but then the doctor
What's the issue
then
with this,
adds
James
on,
Woods?
And he's like, yeah, but I'm not going to kill you. That's unethical, and you would die.
Let me get through the scene, because this is a super intense scene, and you're derailing it all with...
Well, no, I'm just saying, I mean, they're all saying the same shit.
John asks... John's like, we're compatible. You know we're fucking compatible. Stop it. And then John says, so what's going to happen? If I'm laying on the floor dead, you're going to let 2 people die instead of 1? And then the chicks all love this. The chicks are like, oh my God, this is amazing. This is fucking amazing.
So hot.
He's going to
so
kill
brave.
himself for his son. Eddie Griffin comes up and he goes, you know, sometimes you just got to let go and let God. Just accept it, brother. He goes, accept it? Accept what? Accept what? And then James Woods says that Mikey's going to die. He goes, no, I don't accept that. No, I reject that out of hand.
Damn
no,
straight.
he is not going to die. He's a good kid. You'd like him. If you knew him, you'd like him. He likes bodybuilding. Can you believe that he wants to be a bodybuilder? And he's like crying.
John,
like,
I do like him.
He's like, he's a great kid. And he's like, he's getting so fucking emotional, just going over the thing, like how much he fucking loves his kid. And all of a sudden you're like, Jesus Christ, man. He's just going into it, and
then John says, I do like him, and then that's when he fucking, like...
No. He goes, maybe you don't understand. Maybe you don't understand what I'm talking about. My son's gonna live. I will do whatever it takes to make that happen. James Woods then says, what, are you gonna shoot me if I don't operate? He goes, no. And he goes, cocks it on himself. He goes, I'm gonna shoot myself, and then we'll just see what happens. All right? He needs a donor. Somebody's got to die in order to have him get it. I'm his father. It should be me. And then E says, yeah, but that's not what he would want. It's not what his wife. He's too young to know what he wants, and Denise would do the same thing. And then James Woods takes a step towards him, and he sticks the gun in his mouth. And James Woods pauses, and he fucking straightens it.
I love that because that's the next beat. It's like, oh, you didn't think I was serious?
Oh.
I'll turn it upside then.
And then James Woods goes, okay. And Elvis goes, okay, what? He goes, all right, I'll do it. If he's going to kill himself, I'm not going to just let the fucking heart go to waste. And then the lady doctor goes over and she starts like rubbing up on him. She's like, you are the finest surgeon I have ever met in my entire life. Swear to God, that's what she does. Swear to God. She's like, you are throwing your career away. And he goes, yeah, doc, not for nothing, but your career is over. And he goes, what are they going to do? Sue me? Disbar me? Evict me from the country club? This is still a hospital, damn it. All right? If he kills himself, I'm sure as shit not going to let his heart go to waste.
Boom.
So, doctor, Mr. McGuire, let's prep for surgery.
And they fucking do.
They go, fucking James Woods, the lady doctor, and E go get ready for surgery. And you're like, holy shit, this is wild. This is wild, because I wonder if I was like, I'm going to shoot myself in this hospital. Braden and I are absolutely a match. You know we're a match. Are you going to not give him my heart? You know?
I don't know.
You're just going to let me die for nothing and then let Braden die? I'm an organ donor. I want him to have my heart.
Yeah, I wondered, too, if it's like, well, how long would the heart preserve in the body if you shot yourself? You know, like certain little things like that. Probably a good little minute.
I mean,
a few hours at least or something.
Yeah. For sure, because it's not like...
It's not like it's sitting
organ
in the sun.
donors. It's not like they die and then a doctor's there and it's like go.
Well, you have to keep it like frozen or some
cut
shit.
It open. Yeah, but they still.
No, yeah.
Yeah, like if I die in a ditch, it'd be a minute before they get to me.
Well, actually, they had it in water.
Yeah, but so helicopter arrives at the hospital, at a different hospital, and they're wheeling in beautiful woman. And there's someone walking through, and it says female donor, 26 years old, 5'6" tall,
Hot.
beautiful.
Yeah.
Liver and kidneys are good, lungs okay, heart good, blood type B positive.
But this dude is walking around while there's like fucking
That's
five
it.
people like
and
look.
he's asking them this. They got to record shit.
No, yeah,
But this
no,
is
totally.
so she got in a car accident.
Yeah.
Everybody got to the scene. A helicopter got there, airlifted her to the hospital,
Yeah, and she's an organ donor.
and then they cut her open.
Yeah.
So I'm assuming that didn't happen in 20 minutes.
No, yeah.
I assume like that was hours before they even got the heart out of her.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah. So I assume a few hours of heart would be good in the body.
yeah, I think so too. But the
Google
way
that shit. Google that shit. How long is a heart good inside a dead body?
but the way the guy was doing it was kind of like
Keep typing. How long was the Civil War? You know?
but it was pretty weird the way the guy was kind of asking the questions and going about it. He was
24 hours.
yeah.
Ain't that some shit? Yeah, I mean, he's doing his job.
Yeah, but he was kind of weird about it. He got his hands behind his back. He's like very formal and just like, yep. I don't know. I'm sure you have to be a little bit
Yeah, his job is to
make sure all these organs are good. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like,
Go around
I'm sure you got to
dead
be
bodies.
a little cold in some aspect.
So, blood type B positive. Whoop whoop. Mikey's B positive.
Everyone's B positive in this fucking movie.
John, I mean, just that family and this one person. John writes out a will, says he's leaving his heart to his son, and he needs 2 witnesses to sign it. Eddie Griffin and Elvis won't sign it. Seth and Elvis's bitch sign it.
Totally will.
They sign it, and then Seth goes, "So what? You're just gonna go in there and off yourself?" And John says, "Only one thing will stop me." And everybody goes, "What? Wait, something might stop you? What? What'll stop you?" Then he goes, "Elvis is B positive." And everyone goes, "Ah!"
Funny. Fuck, what was I gonna say? Yeah, I forget.
All right.
Yeah.
So everybody laughs. John thanks Elvis's chick.
Oh,
and
this
tells
is
her
my
to be
big problem.
careful.
It's my big problem with this.
He
He's
tells
just-
her to be careful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, why?
Live life on the edge.
Yeah. But he says he's going to off himself. And it's like, okay, maybe there's not something to, let someone die easily in this part of the hospital that they're at. But kind of describe that. Because there's a room full of doctors, and he's talking about
whatever.
shooting himself in the head rather than injecting something into him. I don't know. It just seems like a dirtier way of also getting a heart transplanted.
No.
You don't think?
Why does John trust that they were against doing it? Why does he trust that what they're putting in his body is going to kill him and it's not just going to knock him out so then the SWAT team can come in
That's a good
and
point.
stop it? Yeah. He needs to be in control of it. He needs to make sure he's dying and his son's getting the heart.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Not he did all this for nothing and then they just come in and arrest him.
Yeah.
John walks away and turns around and says, "See you in the funny papers." Love that line.
Yeah.
That is the thing I quote the second most
Mm.
from this movie. Color TV 1, Funny Papers 2. We then see, there's one thing I didn't like. All of the beds are full in the hospital there.
What do you mean?
Like there's a bunch of hospital beds with patients in them that we just see in this area of the hospital.
Oh, I don't.
Like James Woods
Yeah.
and Lady Doctor, have they been helping those people all day? Like what's their deal?
Yeah,
Have they just he's been like, I don't give a fuck about them.
that's a
Yeah.
good point.
We see a bunch of people just in hospital beds.
Yeah, that never gets addressed.
Maybe they're dead. It's been about 30 minutes. Guys, for editing purposes, we're going to take a quick break. But we got the ending coming up. So stick around.
Oh yeah.
And we're back.
What's up, guys?
FUDJ.
Fudge.
So John walks into the room where Mikey is and asks Lady Doctor if he can have a word with him. She leaves. And he's smiling. He goes and wakes Mikey up and smiles so fucking big when he wakes up. It's beautiful. Mikey asks if he said, Dad, did you find me a new heart? And he tells him he did. And then he says, but hey, try to stay awake for a minute because I got to tell you something. He goes, okay. Told him, listen to his mom. Tell her that he loves her every day. To treat every girl you meet. You're too young for girls, but once you get of age, you treat every one of them like a princess because that's what they are. And he's sniffling. Tears. Denzel crushes this scene. Tears are dripping off of his face while he's doing this, and he's so emotional with it. He said, always be a man of your word. If you say you're going to do something, you do it. Because your word is your bond, and that's all you've got in this life. Make as much money as possible. All right? Don't be stupid like your old man. Make as much money as possible. Life's a lot easier with money. Which isn't technically a great message, but it's right.
Yeah.
And this is an issue that could have been avoided with money.
Yep.
If they had fucking money. Don't smoke. Be kind to people. But when somebody chooses you, we talked about this, you be a man, you stand up for yourself. Love that. Stay away from the bad things, son. Please, please, please stay away from the bad things because there's so many great things in life for you. Remember, I'll never leave you. All right? I'm always going to be here with you. And I love, he goes, I'm always going to be right here. And he points at his chest. Literally, he's about to give him his fucking heart. Like, I'll always be right here.
And then takes a big, long pause and says, see you later.
Says, I love you, son.
Oh, I thought.
I'll see you later.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. And then Mikey's nurse from earlier gets a fax saying that you've got a heart. And he's like, no fucking way. No fucking way.
So
and
Jack, dude.
And he sprints through the fucking hospital.
And it just shows, when you're squatting like plus 500 pounds for probably, 2 to 3 reps at least,
And repping out fucking 435 pound bench.
For at least 2 to 3 reps, not even a 1 RPE. Dude, you got a fast sprint. I mean, he's probably got like a 4.5 and a 40.
Oh, he's fucking explosive.
Yeah, and he's flying down that hall. Any person being wheelchaired down that hall better watch the fuck out. That's probably the best thing.
That.
Probably the best thing they could have showed is just him running. Some dude gets wheeled in front of him. He just fucking explodes through.
It's like, fuck out of my way.
Opens the hole.
So everyone's ready for surgery. John comes in there and takes a bullet out of his pocket and puts it in the gun. And E goes, wait, the gun was empty this whole time? He's like, yeah, I'm all talk. The only person I ever considered shooting was myself. You're like, Jesus, man. Like, how good of a fucking guy is this guy?
Fake it till you make it.
Fucking A. John tells them, maybe we'll get some towels. It's going to be bloody. Let's get some towels. And they go, yeah. Male nurse finds Rebecca Payne and gives her the news. She tells John's wife. James Woods, E, and Lady Doctor are all in the room and watching John.
Yeah.
That's baffling to me.
Yeah.
John is laying down. He's breathing heavy, and then pulls the trigger. And just clicks. Safety was on.
Yeah, but it wouldn't click like how it did if the safety was on. It just wouldn't pull.
Semantics. Would it have been as cool if you went, safety's not on. We gotta fucking gotta yuck it up for the movie. Then safety was on.
And that's when
the heart's gonna be there in 15 minutes. They tell John's wife to you can give him the news. And they give her the walkie-talkie. She's like, John, are you there? John. And then he's like, fuck. And he turns the volume all the way down and kisses it.
I didn't like that though either.
And she's yelling, John! What didn't you like?
Well, that she's just, I get she's waiting for him to walkie back, but I wouldn't even said John. I just would have said, because if anyone would have heard the walkie, they could have translated that message too. So I just would have been like, we have a heart, we have a heart. We have a fucking heart. I don't know. That's probably what I would have been screaming.
There's no theatrics to that.
True. No, I get it. It's a movie.
Yeah. Well, and just in real life, I'd be like, hey, you there? Hey, how's it going, man? Yeah, if you got a second, I just want to tell you something. We got a motherfucking heart! Let's go! Woo!
Got to build it up.
She doesn't. She then sprints to the hospital door and like slaps the thing on the door and she's like, "We got a heart! We got a heart!"
But the way she did it and the way they like edited, you don't know, because like, especially the way she slams her hand on like the door, whether or not he actually just offed himself or not right then.
Yeah, we do not know.
Yeah.
News coverage is then starting. And it's the guy again, and he's like, "The heart has arrived here at blah, blah, blah memorial."
Crowd's going
Blah, blah.
crazy.
We see everybody exit, like all of the hostages exit the hospital, and then we see, and it's John Q. It's John Q. We don't see his face. He's got his hat tucked over. The police come and they get him, and they get him in the car quick. They arrest him, throw him in the back of a squad car, and we're reminded that Channel 8 was the first ones on the scene.
And Ray
Giving us
Liotta,
nonstop.
Ray Liotta is in the car with them as well.
We then see that it's Eddie Griffin, and he's wearing John's clothes,
But
and he's laughing in the back of the car.
but Frank is the one that notices him.
yeah, he sees him, and then he laughs when he notices that that's who it is. John is wearing scrubs, and he's like running with Mikey to get him to surgery. And we then see him and his wife. They're watching his
open
son
heart
have
surgery.
Yeah,
Oh, and it's graphic.
it's fucking open heart surgery.
Yeah, it's legitimate. I'm like, Jesus, dude. Did they just like record open heart surgery and just put it in this movie? Because this shit looks so realistic.
So James Woods, I can't believe he didn't have this fun fact. He learned how to do open heart surgery for this movie and then performed an actual one.
It's fucking crazy.
Yeah, it's wild. Frank walks into the observation room where they're watching it, and him and Denzel just kind of look at each other. And he's like, "Hey, you're fine." Pulls out his handcuffs and goes, "Just need you to put these on for me, but take your time." And like, he's nice about it. He's like, "I have to arrest you.
Yeah, I can't.
You
I've already
just had
walked in and
hostages in a fucking hospital.
Yeah.
You are going to jail."
Yeah.
He's like, "But I'm not, like, let's take your time." And they stay, they watch the surgery. And we see, like, it's all happening. And then James Woods goes, all right. And he, like, taps the heart. And then we see it start beating.
Boop.
And everyone's going nuts. He's taking a bow. He shoots John a glance. He's like, fucking did it. Yeah. So surgery was a success. James Woods the fucking man. They hug. We then get the aftermath, and it's everybody. Leno is talking about John Q. And everybody else, it's real covered. We have like Nas and Hillary Clinton.
It's a national fucking story.
Hillary Clinton, Larry King, Bill Maher, Nas.
And they're all talking
They're all
politics.
talking, yeah. Nas is talking about his New York state of mind.
Yeah. That's right.
New York state of mind. John goes to court. James Woods just has bitches all over him in court. It adds nothing to the movie.
But there's two. And I'm wondering, are those the two from the very beginning?
I don't know.
Like because there was one blonde girl and one brunette. And I was like, I just don't remember because they didn't really make it a big enough deal in the beginning. You know what I'm
Two
saying?
from the beginning, like in the boardroom?
Yeah.
No.
Okay.
It was Rebecca Payne and the lady doctor
thought
who
there
was
was
there all movie.
I thought there was 3 females in there.
No.
Oh, because I was gonna say
Yeah.
not Rebecca Payne,
It
but
was
the other
Rebecca
two.
Payne and lady doctor who was there all movie. It was like, hey, you're the finest surgeon I've ever
Yeah,
known.
you're right, you're right,
It's
you're
neither of them.
Yeah.
Bitches
Would've been great,
all
though,
over
if
him,
they were.
though. It's fucking wild. He's found not guilty for attempted murder. Then we finally see his son. We hadn't seen his son up to this point. And we see his son, like, happy that he's found not guilty for attempted murder. He's found not guilty for armed criminal action. And then...
But right before they go over the final verdict, he walks over and he fucking just rips open his jacket and he's like, I will make sure this never happens in this town again.
Yeah. This will never happen to anybody, and I'm going to be the sheriff. I'm going to be the sheriff of Chicago. I'm the Chicago sheriff now.
And the
try
whole-
to stop me.
The crowd outside of the fucking courtroom, everyone in the courtroom, they're going crazy like, yeah.
And he's found guilty.
Yeah, he's found
for
guilty.
kidnapping and false imprisonment. Sentencing will be a week from today. His lawyer tells James Woods, which leads me to believe James Woods got him a lawyer
Yeah.
because the lawyer's talking to James Woods.
Yeah.
and says typically carries a 3 to 5 year sentence. I'm going to try to get it down to 2 years, hopefully. And then we see John tell Mikey he's the man of the house now. If you got any problems, Jimmy or his bitch will help you out.
That's right.
His wife, John's wife, says that she's so proud of him, which is the second straight movie where a significant other has told the man in her life that she's so proud of him.
So awesome. Look at that.
Yeah. Which, the other, if you guys don't remember, is after Derek shoved roast beef down his sister's fucking throat and was bananas anti-Semitic. His girlfriend was like, "I'm so proud of you, baby. I'm so proud
It
of
was
you.
a nice moment.
You did the right thing. I'm so proud of you." So Jimmy tells John to give him friggin' hell and don't worry about nothing. He goes, "All right." Then Mikey says, "Hey, Dad, goodbye." And he says, "It's not goodbye, son. See you later." John then gets walked out by Frank, and we hear from over off to the side, Eddie Griffin. He yells, "Hey, John! Take care, man. You my hero." And he smiles at him. Frank loads down in the back of the car and gives it a pop, so you know to drive off. And Mikey runs past the line. He goes, "Dad!" And then they lock eyes and he goes, "Thank you." And then he starts going. Doing the Ronnie Coleman.
Ain't nothing but a peanut.
What?
It's another Ronnie Coleman.
Okay.
Yeah, so he would get under 800 pounds. He'd be like, "Ain't nothing but a peanut."
Ain't nothing but a peanut. So that's the end of the movie, guys. For Sasha, it says at the end.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't know. Yeah.
I don't know who the fuck Sasha is, but
Probably the writer or the directors.
it's for her.
Yeah.
Maybe the writer-director did this.
Yeah.
That'd be
Oh,
sick.
So crazy.
So, guys, that's the end. Are you prepared to...
Oh, yeah.
I
Oh,
don't,
no.
I don't know.
Oh, yeah.
Where can we watch it? I don't know what movie you picked or where we can watch the movie.
Oh,
But you know what movie is more emotional than John Q?
I'm thinking maybe the Nutty Professor.
It's The Nutty Professor, guys.
Oh, it
Eddie
is?
Murphy. It's so fucking fucked, man.
Really?
You know another movie?
Oh, David, if there's another movie, I know about it.
Let's
And
hear it. It's
it
your
is
pick.
Jaws!
Boom! We're doing Jaws next week, guys. You want to watch Jaws before we do a podcast on Jaws? You should watch Jaws before we do a podcast on Jaws. Here's where you can watch Jaws before we do a podcast on Jaws. It's for $3.99 on YouTube, Google Play, Apple TV, Vudu, or Amazon Prime, or the 5-6 King's Choice. You go to Redbox and you spend $3.99. You pick it up at your local fucking Publix.
Yeah.
Guys, Jaws next week. That's the movie.
Let's fucking go. Steven Spielberg, set me up, baby.
There you go. I feel like that's all you do is pick Spielberg movies. Close Encounters. Fucking all of the Jurassic Park movies were your pick.
That's only one done by Steven.
He was
Two.
involved. He was involved in all 6.
Nah.
His name's on all of them.
Nah.
He created Jurassic Park.
He barely even helped with the second one. He was like, "Fuck this" after the first one.
So, guys, Jaws next week. And so, Braden, we did John Q because it was my pick. We're doing Jaws 'cause it's your pick. But how would someone tell us, "Hey, I want you guys to do my favorite movie"?
Oh, David, they just go to our fucking website.
We got a website?
Yeah.
Get out of here.
Yeah.
What is it?
Oh, dude, it's 56kings.com.
Hold on. So you mean FIVESIXKING.com?
Yes.
And what? They just go to our website. There's a tab up at the top that says Submit Ideas. You click the Submit Ideas tab. You go down. You say your name. You say the movie you want done. You say which one of us you want bringing us through the movie, and then you hit Submit.
That's exactly right.
I mean, it's that easy, guys. What the fuck are you doing not
Come
going
on.
to 56kings.com right now? Your one-stop shop for all things 5-6 Kings.
Just do it.
Just do it.
Yeah.
And Braden, when do new episodes of the 5-6 Kings come out?
David,
You know,
it's-
once they ask us to do that movie, when will it come out?
It's going to come out on Monday, but it's every motherfucking Monday.
But what if it's, what if it isn't?
I mean, we don't have it in, writing or something. But yeah, I mean, it's every motherfucking Monday unless it's not.
Yeah, there you go. You heard it here first, guys. Because if it isn't, it's not.
Yeah,
Something that's not can't be.
yeah.
All right, guys, every motherfucking Monday, unless it's not. That's the 5-6 Kings promise. Guys, thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. I love you all very much. We'll see you next week.
And it's not goodbye. It's see you later.
It's goodbye from me.
Oh.
Yeah. Goodbye.
Peace out.
Bitch, I'm from Palm Beach County, that's where I'm from. When niggas get gunned down and left slump, when we don't just for fucking round. This ain't the county for you bitches to come around. Okay, it's 5, 6, 1.